Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on the WRC YouTube channel. Today we're bringing you part 1 of the Sankei Shimbun Cup 2024-2025 season individual finals. I'm Chiral. There's 2 places you can find me. First, twitch.tv/itsmechiral, and secondly, on the RonRon Discord server where we're about to enter our 4th season of the Jansaku League. If you're available during UK evenings and would like to take part in the next season, the window to apply is the 22nd of this month. But otherwise, enough about me. I'm be joined today, the man at the controls, and the person joining me for commentary for Game 1 today is the keeper of all the tips and the tricks, the one and only Tipzntrix. Hello.
Hey, Chiral, congratulations on the 4th season with RonRon. Pretty exciting. And of course...
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it, and it's been slowly growing, and hoping people are having a good time with it. But yeah, it should be good fun.
Of course, congratulations to all the players today here that have made it through to the individual playoffs. This is going to be an exciting time with a number of... so the players all played for their teams, but with the games that they played during the season, some of them individually had very high scores in just the games that they played, and so we will be seeing them. So it was not a separate tournament, but it was the same scores from the same games that they played.
There are lots of different routes to qualification. Right. I have sort of put an overview, which we can talk about first. But first, should we talk about our sponsors?
That's right. So at first, we've got the WRC, of course, and the USPML. WRC being the World Riichi Championship, the most prestigious international mahjong tournament in the world, held once every 3 years. Next one coming up very soon. In fact, it's in July. Extremely soon. And the USPML.
USPML.
The United States Professional Mahjong League, with their headquarters located in New York, Sparrow's Nest, equipped with Slim Score, Ultima, and Rex 3 auto tables, a mahjong dojo, a mahjong event place, and of course a club to hang out with.
Yes, exactly.
They hold a lot.
How did we get here to the Sankei Shimbun Cup individual final? I'm gonna have to take you back in time. It's been over a month since we last streamed. So let's talk about the Sankei Shimbun Cup. It had 84 teams. 64 teams from Tokyo played the Scepter League, as Tips was saying. 20 teams played the Orb League in Western Japan. The highest scoring player in the Orb League individually, and 2 winners of an individual playoff we didn't get to see. And 3 spots for the finals we're about to watch today. We did get to see a lot of the Scepter League though, including their individual playoffs. The top 7 players got through in the Scepter League for free, but the next best 29 battle each other for the 14 remaining spots. Our very own TWRC member Lika was there battling too. She sadly didn't make the cut, but if we turn up the 3 Orb players and the 21 Scepter League players that made it, we have a 24-player final ready for you. But how's this final gonna go?
That's pretty exciting. We have 3 stages of this final event, the final part of the tournament. All 24 players will be assigned into groups of 4, and so they're going to be playing 3 games against the same players. And from there, the top 2 players in each group are going to advance. And of course, we'll be seeing those games today and tomorrow. It's a 4-day marathon with the semifinals coming up on Saturday and the finals on Sunday.
Exactly so. The next round is kind of a bit of a killer, really, because we have 12 players left and we have to go straight from 12 to 4. 3 tables, 1 Hanchan. Only the winner on your table makes the final 4. It's going to be quick. It's going to be brutal. We're going to see a lot of aggressive play, I think. When you've only got 1 game to make first place, well, that's going to be something to watch.
That is pretty brutal indeed.
Yeah. But yeah, after that we have a final 4, and then we'll be playing 2 rounds against each other. There can only be 1 winner, and I can't wait to find out who takes it. But the only way to start this is to see who is playing in the top 24. First up, we'll be watching in the East seat, Hiroe Sugawara from JPML, representing Team RonRon. In the South seat, we're seeing Miyuki Nagata, representing RMU from ML Stadium West. In the West seat, we'll be seeing Kaoru Kojo, representing Oshigoto Canada from Team RMU. And finally, in the North seat, Saori Tsuchida from Orb League and from JPML, representing Team Mahjong and Bar Bingo. So as it stands, everyone has 0 points.
That's right. The O for bingo is very nicely incorporated all around the Team Bingo's logo. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. It's also like almost like a sosu almost. No, like a pinzu. Sorry. It looks kind of like a one pin that the little doll's holding. I like it. It's nice.
Well, let's see what else you can read into that logo as we start with game number 1.
Now watching, I know that we talked about this in a previous event where people are normally used to playing 2 or 4,
Right.
but we have that 3 Hanchan sort of round, quite common in this particular format because that's how long the broadcasts have been.
Yes.
But yeah, I wonder how people are going to play in the first round. Hopefully just play a normal game, right? Just try and get a top 2. Wouldn't worry too much about being super aggressive just yet. But good luck, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm liking the uniforms once again.
Yeah, difference in styles from all 4 players. You got the casual, the sporty, the slightly more formal.
And hello, dealer. Opening up with a pair of the East, the East being Dora, of course.
That is a monster first hand here for Sugawara.
Yeah.
Of course, she doesn't have the 3rd copy of the East yet. I wonder if 7 pairs is on her mind.
For sure. The other question, I suppose, is maybe not necessarily against these strong players, but would you be willing to call before you've guaranteed an East triplet if you're going to be trying to sort of maybe fix a bad shape? There aren't really many bad shapes in this hand right now. But
right. I'm interested to see if Nagata gets the red dragon from Tsuchida before it's all said and done.
Also, I'm noticing that that's fine, actually. But yeah, I'm noticing that Kojo could also be building one of the more rare Yakus that you don't always try and aim for. Just needing the 3 of bamboo and the 9 of bamboo to make Itsu, that pure straight.
The full straight. It's funny, some people will be like, oh, you could make a full straight in 2 different suits, Ikitsukan. And it kind of looks like Kojo has that kind of hand. But of course, you don't have enough shapes to do it in 2 suits. So we'll see which suit she ends up committing to eventually. Oh, there it is.
It's probably going to be bamboo, right? Like, you're probably going to cut the 1-3 of pin. But we'll see. You never know what direction a hand wants to go.
We'll also see if Tsuchida is ever willing to discard that East Dora. The last Dora for Kojo! So 2 players with just a leftover East Dora. All 4 Dora accounted for now. The dealer has 2, but will she get a 3rd?
I think it's very interesting how we gave up on that nice 6-9 acceptance for a pair the moment we drew Dora. So I think that was her sort of mentally deciding that I'm going to make a triplet. I'm going to make a pair at this Dora. I'm not playing it, so we have to use it somehow. So because of that, we just immediately throw away that 6-9 sort of pair candidate. I like that. It's very, very good to change the way you're thinking about a hand.
That answers the question. Doesn't sound like the Sugawara is going to be able to get East Pone, East Triplet. Since Kojo and Tsuchida seem to be placing a lot of priority on keeping the East tile. Tsuchida's hand hasn't really gone anywhere. She might just be playing defensively here. That does give room for Nagata to get a red dragon from Tsuchida. But if she... Sorry, Tsuchida already discarded the red dragon. I was too busy watching Dora. Yeah, so she'll have to draw the last copy or something. Rare opportunity to maybe use the red dragon as a pair, but I think her hand is going to be slow if she takes that route.
Yeah, I can definitely see Kojo getting to Tenpai, waiting on the east. That will never come. But I think this might be one of those situations where everyone ends up locking each other down. We just don't.
I mean, Nagata's hand looks pretty good. So does Kojo's, but she will not give up the Dora. So she's probably going to end up with Dora Tanki, the pair weight on the Dora by the end of this. Of course, Sugawara now has some form of hand that doesn't require drawing the third east, and so not calling early pays off for her. She doesn't have to rely on someone discarding her east tile. Although I have a feeling she's going to get that triplet weight, that double triplet weight, the Shampon weight, where one of the sides is east.
I do love how Sugawara has managed to stay one away, and that she could. Oh, that's the upgrade.
Oh, it's
right
perfect.
there. Yes, keeping that one away where you can call the east and then immediately be Tenpai.
Right.
Is it's really I love that. But either way, the reach stick is out.
Yeah, and now she doesn't have to get that east to win. Do we see a fiery counter reach? Chasing reach here.
Waiting on the door. As far as she knows, they're in the wall. We know better, unfortunately, for her, but...
Ippatsu! Dealer, Ippatsu,
a flip.
Uradora. We're looking at the dealer manga in here. That'll make up for missing the East triplet, I suppose. Oh, it's a Haneman even. Oh, because of Ippatsu, that's right. Riichi Mahjong, Dora 3.
What's a start? And we're still in East 1, so, you know. We can pretend the game's not started yet, right?
Yeah, that is a huge open. Especially not being able to get the third copy of East. That is so much value that was still made.
It was the Ura last round. Now it will be the door indicator this one.
Round.
It was the Dora indicator last round. That will be the Dora this time.
It's the Dora this time. Formon. Suan. Well, there's an East. A lot less valuable this time, but still worth something. Kojo holds on to it. It's still value on her. Yakuhai. Can still make a triplet.
Yeah, that's
for
not great right now, unfortunately.
Is that seven Kokushi tiles?
She'll be discarding the one man.
Yeah.
She's not thinking about orphans. Although.
Yeah, sometimes you draw another tile, it changes your mind back again.
Pulling that 3-pin there for Kojo.
Very good.
Definitely fixes one of the worst shapes in the hand, and now suddenly it's pretty good. Speaking of the threes, I don't feel that great about Nagata's hand, but getting a pure sequence would be a nice little... It would make me feel a little bit more confident with what I'm doing, at least.
Yeah, Kojo is one away here with some very nice shapes. And now over to Sugawara, who's paired up the north, but the rest of the hand is still a little bit off. She's keeping 3 pairs. See what that means.
Yes, welcome back. Welcome back. We are here every day this week with the Sankei Shimbun Cup individual finals.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days. Casting the individual finals, as Cairo mentioned here. And this is only the beginning. The beginning of the round of 24.
Yeah, as we were saying, we'll repeat it one more in case people weren't here at the start of the stream. This first round is 3 hand-chans long, and the top 2 on each table will advance. So it's all about getting top 2 here after 3 hand-chans. We have time.
Yep, and we opened off with an Ippatsumo from the dealer Sugawara to stay in East 1. A Haneman of epic proportions. Oh, we see the half flush here. Sugawara's hand is coming together again. It's still a lot slower than our other players, but could be worth way more if she gets it.
I like going for the half flush specifically because it is that slow, right? And being able to call things like, say, the north to advance the hand, if you're going to attack, having that route, I think, is very, very good.
Yeah, although we're seeing more and more of the Formon enter our other players' hands, that means they're more valuable themselves with the Dora in possession, and that's Tenpai. Kojo going for the
Saying that that's all in the
Pinfu.
north, but it was played and it was passed, probably correctly so, because, as we say, it's slightly too slow. That reach has come out.
This is going to be tricky, and not calling the north allows Sugawara to just discard the north here as a safe tile.
Honestly, she's got a massive lead right now. She can let the other three bicker amongst themselves.
One away here?
Yeah.
Something looks very
Look at that reach.
strange about this hand.
Problem is, we haven't seen a single pin drop from the reach here.
Okay, cutting
Yes,
the
we
pair.
haven't seen the red dragons get played. And sure, she played the 6 of bamboo, but that doesn't mean the 7 is safe. In fact, if anything, that means 7's probably more of a danger mark, considering how
Right.
close it was to that reach tile. We know the weight is 1 for a bamboo. One thing to keep in mind is always tiles around the Riichi tile are more dangerous, and we see that 2 of bamboo right there, meaning the 1 and 4. Yep, that definitely counts more.
Oh, what a draw, though. Can Tsuchida
Yes.
turn it around? She's going to try. That 8-mon is safe. It's just a matter of whether she'll be willing to discard the 7-mon later if she gets Tenpai.
Now, trying to justify it, the 8-man being played twice, as we see with 3 outs, we know it's not a 6-8. That's
Okay, so now everyone knows 6-0
that
is safe.
comforting.
Yeah, this would be Tenpai if Tsuchida had kept going, but it's going to be a little slower. So not quite Tenpai yet, since she played a slightly safer route.
Yeah, that 4-pin cut is going to take another step back as well, unfortunately. It is 100% safe in that situation.
So now both 6-0 and 5-0 revealed safe to the Riichi player by I guess some unfortunate draws for Kojo. Our other players are still kind of pushing though. No one's really completely left.
There are 3 tiles remaining.
Yeah, this is
4.
Tenpai now for Tsuchida.
Reaching, yes, exactly.
If she chooses it. It
Also,
goes
Dora
right
1.
ahead.
Okay. It's definitely maybe not the best way, but it's definitely going to be a way to keep Tenpai.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end of the wall. About 10 tiles left. Just a little.
Kojo draws a 4, but not the right 4.
3-so discarded. Gotta watch out for that at all times. A white dragon. Huh. Where are they? Actually,
Yeah, that's a very good question, actually.
Sugawara's. I don't expect to see Sugawara make the call here if it comes out. I'm not even sure if it's going to come out, though. It does! Oh, she did go for it! Ooh,
I mean, she's one away from
interesting.
Tenpai. So she can sneak into Tenpai to get that payment at the end.
Yeah, with
maybe keep a dealership. It's a strat.
With the position of the call, it looks like she'll have 2 draws to make Tenpai. Maybe 3? Can't tell exactly how many tiles are left in the wall. No, it looks like she gets one more draw after this. This is just not going to be Tenpai for Tsuchida. Or, sorry, for Nagata. Tsuchida? Will she maintain Tenpai? Going for it. Stays in Tenpai. Sugawara does not find the tile she needs for Tenpai.
I guess they also swapped the draw. The pawn sent it back 1. Would it made it? No, it wouldn't make a difference. Yeah, would have just been Nagata gets it to the Kojo. But Kojo and Tsuchida managed to keep Tenpai, gain 1,500 points. And you never know. With only 3 hand chants in this entire stage, maybe 1,100 points is the difference between winning and losing. You just don't know.
Hopefully you don't think about that.
No,
What Nagata
I'm...
should be... She should be thinking about it's her dealer. Time to get those points back.
The thing in my mind is, like, what scores me the most points? I'm not going to worry about the end result, but what scores me the most points in this particular situation right here? What can I do that might get me a few more points compared to... Well, this is an interesting start, though, for Nagata.
Yeah, very close to the Dora 7-so, but no actual copies of 7-so in her hand. Of course, she can easily use it. What the? Kojo with 3 pairs of wins. Could we see a monster in East 2? Yeah, there's one of the Norths.
To go 7 pairs, which
okay,
is
one of the Norths is
less
gone.
exciting.
Yeah, true. That wouldn't be quite the monster. Oh, there's a second North, and it's already gone. Oh, this doesn't look good for Kojo's chances.
Ah.
There's still 2 left, though, and the door I was talking about. Nagata draws it up.
Trap. There it is. Very early 5 cut.
You're
Just
right.
in case she ends up waiting on that 2 pin.
It
Could
really
be a tile that
wouldn't...
comes out on the first turn after each if there is no other information available.
It really wouldn't be worth anywhere near as many points as we were first looking at, but...
I know. But
7 pairs can easily score Uradora for quite a few points.
yeah, you can still get 12,000.
Right.
Panaman from a 7 pairs hand. Though I will say, her first 3 discards should be a warning, a bit of a red flag, right? To anyone paying attention.
And I think that's why she's setting up the 2-pin weight, so it's very non-standard. Difficult
But the warning flag doesn't necessarily always mean orphans, but it definitely just means something that's not quite normal.
Oh, goes away with the 2-pin. Wonder if she's going to go for a lot of points here. This is 1 away for Tsuchida. Very nice hand with a couple Dora now.
Very true.
So it looks like all of our players have a very good shot at making something happen this hand. And Kojo commits to the half flush. The call from Sugawara. Sugawara doesn't need many points because she's already winning. So going for an inexpensive hand makes sense here.
I respect it, but also... it seems like a very dangerous game to play.
If it's so dangerous, you have to do it earlier better than later. So, and she's the first one, Tenpai. Boom, it works. Hands come together. Is that a bit of a clap? Either way, she looks elated to get that win, to shut down all those big hands. Even though we didn't see any open calls, she could probably feel, based on the discards, that the other players were going for something big. So it's a good stop for her to keep her massive lead, more than double the score of second place right now.
Yes, exactly, yeah. As I was saying, whenever you see someone playing 5, 7, like 6 as the first 3 choices, I'm not saying that it's always super dangerous, but there's usually something strange happening, and maybe you don't want to be taking the risk of people getting up to strange nonsense.
It's doubly worse when they're the dealer. Because...
Yes, exactly.
Okay, maybe not technically double. It's 1.5 times worse because they can score 1.5 times the points on you. Or anybody else.
Because it can mean like a half flush, it could mean like 7 pairs or triplets based hand. It could mean orphans. You always got to think about that.
Exactly. But Sugawara does not have to think about that hand anymore as we move into East 3. Kojo the dealer. Kojo's hand looking okay. Now we're on Tsuchida's hand. Also looking okay with a pair of reds. It'll be interesting to know whether Tsuchida calls this time. But we haven't seen any of them.
It's always a nice little thing to see. Speaking of the Dora, sitting there.
Okay, there it is. Just not even any hesitation. Gets a little bit of a reward here with a white dragon draw. Of course, that does leave only one more red dragon. I would be shocked if she didn't call the last red dragon at this point, especially with the white dragon pair in hand.
Yeah, exactly. In ideal world, you still get to reach this on those dragon pairs, but actually, in ideal world, you just draw it all yourself. But still, the
What
side
a
of the
draw.
1, 3, 4, 5, 7 shape we didn't want to draw, but it's still an upgrade.
Yeah, something is something.
Tsuchida now getting 4 pairs. Could we believe in 7? Who knows?
This is the 7, so is Dora, so it's going to be kept here. Probably all the way until the end. Firing
We see a reach.
the Riichi. Dealer's Reach.
6-0 deals in, and is the only tile. We see 2 of them right now. I'll keep an eye open, see if we can find any more.
Yeah, waiting for the Dora indicator. That's a tough one.
Yeah. But it is an early reach.
True.
And we've seen players here be quite careful, maybe. Quite cautious, maybe. Maybe that we see a lot of them fold to a reach this early on in the game. But
I
either
think
way,
there's one copy of the 6-0 left in the wall.
I think there's 2, but I should just quickly check again. Now I might have missed something.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You can't
Nagata
save that
doesn't
twice.
have a 6-0. She's just also waiting for a 6-0. So there are 2 copies in the wall.
Although, coming to Nagata's aid, the 3 of bamboo has passed. We have seen a 9 pass already. So maybe there's a world where it becomes sort of a middle Tsuji.
Yes.
3 ruling out 4 or 5 shape, the 9 ruling out a 7, 8 shape.
Oh, I thought Tsuchida might reach for it, but she reached for the 1-so instead.
Not yet. But we are seeing Sugawara. Obviously, she's in first place, but she is dismantling her hand to stay 100% safe. So there's one player who is out of this. Oh, there's 2 remaining.
That's going to be a
So we are not
problem
going
for
to see the text come
Kojo
out from her.
and a problem for Nagata. I can't really see her discarding the Dora 7-so here, so both of them are going to be relying on that last copy of 6-so.
That is, of course, assuming that we don't just see someone else win first. Trying her best there, Nagata, trying to be able to just please just give me room to accept the door into my hand. Like maybe if I could draw an 8 and get the 6-9 weight, maybe and something else can happen, and I don't have to worry about this one tile anymore. Interesting potential out here for Sugawara. She could go for something like 7 pairs in this situation if sort of the singles end up being safe.
Yeah, just under 20 tiles in the wall. It would be pretty unlikely, I think, that 7 pairs lands, but definitely could, being only 1 away. At least Tempai gives a reasonable shot.
Either way, though, staying perfectly safe, given you're in the lead, is the right thing to do. And that's that 8 we were talking about. So now, maybe Nagata can get in on the 6-9 weight, even though we have seen most of the 9s, I think, picked up already by people. Yeah, 2 of them are right here.
Oh,
that's Tempai.
Sugawara finds it, but what is the discard?
Dora Tanki?
I don't think
For
she'll
the second
be
time
discarding
today?
Dora. Is it even worth reaching with such few tiles left?
I don't think you'd reach. I think you just Dharma if you're going to take the Senpai.
No, just full fold. Fold it. Don't even risk it.
Honestly, you can't play Dora. The 8-pin doesn't look great, to be fair.
And this is not Tempai. So Tsuchida will just discard 6-mon here as we reach the end of the wall.
We're seeing a repeat for East 3.
Yep, and this should be the last tile here. No tempai here.
I'm sure one man's been played since this reach. I'm pretty sure that a Sugawara played one man. Unless I missed that. Oh no, it was a 2. It was a 2 and it's just a weird angle, I see. Understood.
The 1s, 2s, and 3s, even players with the luxury of being right at the table will sometimes mix up the 1, 2, and 3 of Manzu because they look so similar.
But notice how huge a hand that was for Kojo. Going from 3rd place to 2nd place.
Yeah. It is still quite early, but it did
That's true.
Give her a really good positioning boost. Pair of red dragons, can't argue with that.
Yeah, the rest of the hand looks pretty sort of disconnected, unfortunately, having that 3, 6, 9. But I guess that just means that there's so much room to grow, right?
We'll see if Kojo believes she can afford the luxury of passing the first red dragon, or if she will choose to call it with a hand like this. We might see it right now. Not quite.
1,300 points currently available in the pot, carried over from the last game. That one Riichi stick and a repeat counter. It's not huge, but maybe you're thinking about that too when you're trying to decide whether you're going fast and cheap or
right,
staying a bit closed, taking a bit longer to try and build value. 4th pair. With a pair of dragons, so you don't really want to be going for 7 pairs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Sugawara. And the red dragon
6,
stays.
8, and 9.
Yeah, the red dragon stays in Nagata's hand here.
The dealer did just pick up a Dora, which probably has put any mumblings I had about 7 pairs to bed there. We keep the 5, 6. It's fine.
Yeah, a lot of these hands have been straddling the line between a regular hand and a 7 pairs hands, and Kojo's hand might take the 7 pairs route.
Although, yeah, but I did say it. We do the 5, we might keep the 5, 6, but we just do the 4 so pair, so that brings us 1 away, I believe, for that 7 pairs hand. Maybe it's just the 3rd weight on the Dora, perhaps. Or 3rd potential weight on the Dora. But that is very good though. Getting that. There we go. Yeah, suddenly the hands come in very normal again.
Very solid. Ooh, I guess Tsuchida already has 2 pairs. Gonna go for the slightly awkward single weight there. Looks like an inside weight. We've got the Sanshoku, the mixed triple sequence for Kojo that might show up. Or sorry, for Sugawara. Here's Kojo, who might actually be doing 7 pairs.
Got excited. It was an 8, not a 7.
Sugawara still keeping that 1, 2, 3 around. Pieces of 1, 2, 3. Good draw here. For Nagata, she's 1 away. Not it. Change the weight a little bit. It's going to be a call.
Okay, 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku is confirmed.
Yep.
Still 1 away, but now we've opened. We can open again. Unfortunately, we know where the 3 mans are. They're right here. 3 of them all.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, Tenpai. Speaking of 3 man, 3, 6 deals in here to Tsuchida.
Indeed.
We do know where those 3s are. I think we see the loose 6, I believe, in Sugawara's hand. Oh no, it became. That was Nagata I was talking about, I think, and it became 4, 6, 8, so it's no longer loose. It's fine. Unless.
6, so Not quite as valuable as it was in the previous hand. But she's going to hold on to it.
Yeah, with that reach out, I don't think it's necessarily the greatest idea to play, at least not on the Opatsu turn.
Almost Tempai here. Not quite.
Just something we should probably mention is the fact that the reach tile, I believe, just making sure it is, yeah, it was the Dora. So when someone is playing a reach and cutting the Dora, at least it doesn't always mean something necessarily, but I'm thinking, why?
Yeah, it's got to be an alarm at least. Why did the Dora just get shot out like that? Especially a Dora that's this close.
Yeah, sometimes the common story is you have 2 Dora and you're picking a better weight over value, right?
Right.
And that's what we see here.
Indeed.
It could just be you had a Dora loose, and
yes,
when you got to Tempai, you decided, okay, I can't use it, I'm just going to throw it away. But if you have a pair of Dora and you cut one of the Dora when you hit Tempai, that does mean your weight's going to be around that. 3-6, as we see. Speaking of having multiple Dora, this is 1 away from 7 pairs, Dora 2. But we have to cut that 3 to make it happen.
Well, looks like our other players are catching up to the Riichi player right now.
We now know where all the 3s are, in fact. Do we know where all the 6s are? I'm going to do a little quick little sweep this time around.
All right. Oh, does not want that. Thought it was a 9 for a little bit.
Now it's safe. Okay, so I think I see 3 of the 6 of characters.
Oh, pawn call. I'm going for the Tanya, the all simples.
I think Kojo is playing a dangerous game. She may not realize it. I'm sure she knows. But 6-man is very, very, very dangerous. This is Tempai.
7-pin. Yes, keeps a Tempai.
Only waiting on the door, and we see where all of those are right now. So not going to come out, but being Tempai at this stage in the game is very, very valuable. Yeah, if the 5 wasn't the Dora, maybe playing a 2 and an 8 might convince people to drop it, but it's the Dora, so I don't think it's going to come out. Although it is safe to the reach, so you never know.
But it's sometimes if it's safe to the Riichi and it's like an honor tile or even a terminal tile, you might see it. But because it's a 5 like this, if you have any suspicion of the other players, a 5 is such a hard tile to discard, even if it's not Dora.
Agreed. So, 2 players, Tempai. The next round will be even more exciting as that Riichi stick will carry over. And once again, the player in second has swapped between Kojo and Tsuchida.
Oh, and it looks like the players are just making sure all the scores are correct. They're also noting the swap. Especially because while the table does track Honba, a lot of the players like to take the point sticks out and do the Honba themselves. Leave the point sticks on the side of the board. Might even be part of the Mondo broadcasting rules. But what happens is the scoreboard on the table becomes incorrect. You have to remember to add the Honba back to the dealer's score when you're checking the score. With the scores this close, might end up mattering. So 2 Honba, East 4. Tsuchida is our dealer. And that looks like a really nice hand so far. Nice Tanya
very complete, isn't it? Yes.
Okay, the 1-mon isn't quite as good, but it's not bad.
I think a bit more like a luck-based Yaku, but pure of a sequence right there. 1 extra hand, just for being a little bit lucky.
Indeed.
You can always build around it, but whether you actually get it on... Oh, wow, okay.
I wonder if Pinto will happen.
A little bit, but... It's not that bad, actually. 1458 in the bamboo. That's not really an overlap. That's okay. Take that back.
Yeah, maybe the one's not even necessary.
Yeah, looking at Kojo, I am loving the chance of a Sanshoku. And that's obviously why she's keeping to 9 as long as she has.
Right.
We may see... Well, it's become a pair now, so we may see her just give up on it, but I would love to see that become 7, 8, 9. So, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream.
7, 8, 9 to get that mixed triples for Kojo. It's a bit of an ask. But
yeah,
if it shows up, it would be perfect.
Yeah, we obviously see where 3 of the 8s are. It's unlikely to be drawn.
Right. Let's see if the 9s... Oh, she's going to cut the 8, 9. Maybe wanting to pawn? Because as you mentioned, some of the 9s are gone already, so it feels like it's less easy to make that shape. But maybe she knows that the Dora is hard to get. Having 8, 9 mon in hand looking for Dora would be a little too difficult. 7 mon Dora.
If the goal was to pawn, we did see her draw a pair of the 9 of characters there and cut them. So maybe she's just clearing that shape out, deciding it's the weakest shape in the hand.
Yeah, the tiles that are close to Dora, other people are going to want the most. So considering that's just for sumo ability, chance to get the hand as quickly as possible, even if she gives up the Dora weight, so she can't quite get that value there. Just wants the fastest hand.
Yeah, honestly, making it hard for other... Oh, should have drawn a triplet of them. That's unfortunate. But yeah, honestly, just making it hard for other players to use the Dora is always going to be a useful strategy in a game like this. Puts pressure on them to either take a slower path to Tenpai or just give up and play it. Speaking of quicker paths to Tenpai, do you have Tsuchida, our dealer, claim this? With 2 Riichi 6 and 2 Honba, I think that's absolutely a fair thing to do. Try and scoop up those points. Can't keep trading second place with Tenpai payments. Get 2,000 extra points ahead. And that will be Tenpai. The pair weight. Same particular reason why we see the 6 of bamboo, 7 of characters. We see that because she played a 4 of characters very early. So it rules out that 5-6 shape.
There was the perfect draw for Nagata, filling in the 3 mon right to Tenpai. Huge 3-sided weight.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's one turn too slow. Sugawara catches it.
Shut down with Dora 3, no less.
Yeah, that's 1 extra Riichi stick as well from Nagata having to reach. Big points, and Sugawara now over 3 times the score of second place. Kojo being that current second place player. Every other player having a negative score right now.
Exactly. As we go into South 1, just a quick little refresher on the format of this event. It is 3 hand chans long and top to advance for the next round. So, Sugawara, even if the other 2 games don't go so well, I think she's probably going to be top 2. I don't know. With a score like that, we'll see. Anything could happen in a game of Mahjong, but speaking of anything happening, hello, 5 Dragons.
5 is generally when I start to think maybe I can get the Yakuman. We'll see.
5 is when the dream is real. It doesn't always come true, but
yes,
I'm allowed to dream.
Oh, the white one comes out. That's the only one that Nagata doesn't have a pair of. That's a tough break.
Yeah. But we know they're territory in the wall somewhere. We can see that. You never know what the next draw is going to be.
Indeed.
The fact that it wasn't called means that even she can have some hope, right?
Right.
Obviously, if it's played... Oh, maybe just cut the White Dragon now, though. Oh, dare we... No, we cut the 7-9. Okay. 7 is Dora, but it is the slowest shape in the hand if we ignore that dragon.
Wonder
Okay,
if
really good fill here.
even if you don't ignore the dragon, I feel like the 7 might be slower than getting the dragons here.
Yeah, I guess. I just value the Dora weight very, very, very highly.
The big 3 dragons worth so much, but it's tough.
Still very possible though.
Yeah, I guess the upside of the Dora.
That's possible now.
No more big 3 dragons, only little 3 dragons, and even that is going to be hard with only 1 white dragon in hand.
Is now the time.
Dora.
No, we cut Dora. Okay. The dream's still real. I respect it. Good luck, Nagata.
Okay. Sugawara looks like she might be not giving up here.
Our dealer just keeps taking steps to Tenpai.
Sugawara aiming for 100,000 points. That would be a
Honestly,
very solid start.
The red comes out. Is it going to be called? It is.
That's one. Half flush play. That's one way to earn value.
Honestly, half flush with the little 3 dragons and the 2 dragon triplets is still a very solid hand. It's not the Akamon, but it's still very solid, right?
Right.
That might also be the other reason why we see that Dora get cut, because we're adding 2 hand from the half flush. That's something I hadn't considered.
Yeah, only a slight downside is that the hand is open, so you don't get the extra hand for the closed half flush. And obviously you can't Riichi. But still reasonable value, getting her into 2nd place at the least.
Yeah, for sure. I think 2nd place and the rest, given how the scores are spread right now. Still having to get 2 tiles to make that happen, though.
And we are simply drawing and discarding here. Okay, there's a slight improvement for Kojo.
If she's willing to open, there's a chance, but no. It's not really an openable hand in hand. Oh, well.
The 3rd green dragon.
I believe that is Tenpai weighing on 2 pin. I just have to triple check that, but I believe that is Tenpai. I was 2 pin looking. We see 1 in discards. No, it's not Tenpai. Not quite.
Not quite there yet. Reading all the single tile or single suit shapes.
Yeah, it was where the pair was. It was what threw me.
This is Tenpai, though.
This is Tenpai, though. Yeah.
And a follow-up Tenpai with this chi, assuming that Nagata doesn't deal in, and she does not.
So a half flush with 2 dragon triplets versus. So look at this reach. Okay, just Riichi pin through with Dora, which is still perfectly fine. 5-8 versus 4-7 though. The pins are very unsafe today.
Yeah, a very long delay after Nagata discarded that tile, but Kojo does end up cheating it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because Kojo's just trying to get to Tenpai, right? There's not much time left. If she can think of a safe route to get there, she's managed to get 2nd place purely off the back of being Tenpai multiple times. So definitely respectable, although you need to be a bit careful of this dealer, Riichi. On 4 comes though. So Nagata gets her half flush with 2 dragon triplets and shoots ahead into 2nd place.
Very nice, very nice. 9,000 points there.
Yeah, the Monk and the Riichi stick. Very, very good. Now, as we move into South 2, she's going to have to defend it. It's her dealership that next now, and we'll see what she's doing. But yeah, top 2 is the goal of this particular round. I would want a bigger second than 21-9, but it's still a second.
Right. And second is good enough to move forward. But, of course, there will be more games to play to decide, and we'll be seeing the other players in our upcoming broadcast today that we get to look at more than just these.
Nagata, this hand is kind of abysmal, I'm not going to lie.
It does have one Dora in it, but...
It has the Dora, yes, that is the one good thing we can say about it.
Right. And it has the Dora indicators. Those are usually hard to get, so I guess that's 2 good things going for it.
Yes, I suppose.
Ooh, but Sugawara has 3 of the 9-pin Dora, so that's going to make it a lot harder for Nagata here.
Sugawara really is hoping to get as big of an early win as possible. Although, honestly, I respect it, because if you can get a really big win, especially in this format, which gives a Oka that sort of 5,000 point ante from every player that goes to first place. Oh, well, that's a really good draw. But yeah, with that sort of ante, getting that huge first place bonus, and then a massive score on top of it, is going to put you in a very secure position going into the next 2 games.
You could almost go to a blacksmith and tell them to forge you some armor because you're not getting taken down anymore from here.
As a commentator, I try to say those things because I know that tends to curse them. But also, but yes, also kind of that, yes, exactly.
Only scratches in the armor. Oh, I wonder if an outside hand is possible here. Maybe even 1, 2, 3 mixed triplets. Remember, the 9-pin is still Dora, though, so it's going to be pretty... I think Sugawara would be hesitant to discard any of the 9-pin.
It is one of my favorite Yaku to pronounce. Junchan Sanshoku. It just sounds... It's really fun to say.
It is fun.
Right at home.
Tsuchida with 2 so here. 2, 3, 4 has been made with this, but what is the discard? 2 pins, so she's not going to go for 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku. No mixed triples for her.
I think that's reasonable. There's also a very real chance that the 4 of bamboo there in her hand becomes her pair as well. Like, obviously we got that 4-6, but maybe we either pair up 6-9, and that'd be fine to keep 2 short, or draw a 1-4. We'll see.
That's Tenpai. Yeah, it's
waiting on the 7.
Debatable,
wait,
but it is Tenpai.
Nagata, yeah. So waiting on the 7 of pins, we see 2 of them in one in Kojo's hand, one in Tsuchida's hand.
Yeah, actually,
that does mean that there's 1 remaining.
Oh,
one being in the no, there isn't, not anymore.
Right off the rip.
There's no way that
Kojo picks it up.
Yes, there's no way the 7-pin ever gets played
she
here.
Does not
but Nagata could claim the Tenpai painter if everyone else decides to fold.
Another Tenpai!
Unless... Oh no!
Nagata Tenpai
does not flip Maruyama.
Baited out the 7-pin. That's going to be huge as the dealer. Counting it out. 3,900.
Just draw a 1. But given the score situation, given who you hit with that run,
right,
getting that gap to widen, it's going to be very, very good for Nagata. And her dealership continues. She can always, maybe, chain a few more wins here to challenge Sugawara's lead.
Yeah, and
maybe the armor is getting a dent in it. Tips, maybe.
Maybe one Honba on the board makes it slightly easier to catch up.
That's always true as well, yes.
24,000 points. That's 1 dealer Mangan direct hit. This looks like it could be Mangan. It's got Dora, it's got Ipeiko, maybe even 1, 2, 3 mixed triples.
Yeah. I think that's why we're seeing the one of characters get kept just a little bit.
Right.
I don't expect it to be kept too long, but maybe just for a little bit longer.
Red dragons from both our first two players, East and South. And red dragon
1, 2,
from our
3,
last player.
Sanshoki. Sugawara also hot on Nagata's heels. Oh, what a draw! Pulling in that 7, 8, 9 shape.
It's beautiful.
It's not the only 7, 8, 9 shape in her hand, but having the weaker shapes get filled in first is always such a good feeling. As it looks like everyone else is stalling a little bit. Yeah, we see Kojo get her pair. It is also very good for Sugawara too.
Oh, little bit of a lull here. Our players think very hard. Tsuchida got a really good draw. Just trying to think what is most efficient and where are the weights that the other players aren't holding.
Yeah, that's always such a tricky thing that I don't really do that often. At least not this early. Like,
it takes a little bit of time.
On what you see discarded, what do they not have?
Right.
It's easy to do with dragons and things like that, obviously, but
the art of reading the opponent's hand even through the back of the tiles.
Well, if you could do that, that's a very powerful skill.
That's the idea. That's the attempt. That's another pair. I wonder if Nagata would go down that route here.
Yeah, I mean, if she's just trying to get to Tenpai as quickly as possible, I think that's very reasonable. Although, yeah, I was going to say, it comes at keeping the pair of 3 of bamboo comes at the cost of getting rid of that Dora 2 of bamboo, which we do see get discarded from Sugawara. But yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about cutting a Dora from the hand. I mean, obviously, if you're Tenpai, you take a Tenpai, but it's not the thing you want to be doing in an ideal world.
3, 4 for the 4, 5, 6. Okay, Tsuchida. 1, 2, 3 for Sugawara.
Okay, we were talking about that Sanshoki.
Yeah, 7 pairs looking less and less likely for any of our players then.
Yeah, I love the 7 pairs, Yaku. I don't love making it.
Oh, is
1,
this?
2, 3?
That's Tenpai, no Riichi.
That's Tenpai.
Yeah, Sugawara doesn't need the points necessarily.
Yeah, she can just Dharma this, take the Dharma pin through RonRon, and move the game along to South 3.
Ooh,
I would still reach probably.
Prefers this way.
Kind of player,
Tsuchida prefers getting the extra 7 as a possible Tenpai tile. That's a pair though. That's pair 5. We're saying no 7 pairs. We might actually see a 7 pairs.
It also enables all simples, which is an interesting potential route if we're going to open the hand. I'm not sure we're going to force that, but
sumo draw.
So Pinfu Sumo only.
Pinzumo, no Riichi.
But we move on to South 3, and Sugawara keeps her lead. If she'd reached, she would have got more points.
Yes,
but there are times you shouldn't reach.
I'm
an aggressive player. I play too. I used to say I'm too defensive, and I think I'm just too aggressive when it comes to things like reach, at least.
Well, if she had reached, it would have been worth more.
True. But you would have been risking more.
Right.
But we never know. She could have flipped her too. Could have been a very valuable hand. Either way, we move on to Kojo's last leadership for game 1 of this individual top 20 tour phase.
Yeah, I mean, we had a very close race for second place before, but when Nagata scored in South 2, it did make quite a big gap between Kojo and Nagata, but it's still less than 1 dealer Mangan.
Yeah, Nagata only pulled ahead because she won a Mangan, so Kojo could do it right back.
That's fair. Mangan
very
to
nice one.
mangan.
I do like my half flush with 2 dragon triplets, but yeah, mangan to mangan can easily happen.
Yeah, it's not quite South 4 yet, but we have come full circle with the East being Dora again. So I wonder what the Dora will be in South 4, since we've already come back to East being the Dora.
Though it would be interesting if it was South.
Oh ho
It would be
ho
interesting.
ho!
Oh,
Nagata
well,
pulls
hello.
2. It's no longer Yakuhai, so she can't just call it. Not very easily, anyway.
No. But this is a hand that's one away from Tenpai.
Right. Easy way
And
to
if you
use
draw
it
the
as
7 of
pair.
bamboo,
Yeah, I mean
it's actually, yeah. If you draw 7 bamboo, it's Pinfu too, which is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, even when it was Yakuhai in East 1, it ended up being used as pair when Sugawara opened off the game with the Ipatsumo Haneman. So maybe we'll see East Dora recounting its role as pair again. And we got the Ponon Souths.
Did I say 7 so makes it Pinfu? I mean, technically I was right, but also with that last upgrade, potential 3-sided Pinfu weight.
Wow.
Waiting on the 369 of dots.
So many different weights now. But can she find any of them? Nagata looking for anything here. Kojo's hand not too bad either.
It does feel like that sometimes, doesn't it? Sugawara as well, we're just living in it. Yeah, the question is going to be, what does Sugawara's never going to play the Dora. Like, she doesn't need to. It's way too much of a risk.
Yes, especially for first place. Ah, Tenpai.
Not particularly valuable one, but she needs some points from somewhere to not be last in this game.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's double South instead of just single South. So there's that. True. But it's still only 2 Han. Looking for Con, maybe even open Con. See the 2-pin come out? I would expect an open Con here, actually. Guess we will not get to find out. She'll just take the win for 2 Han here.
And in a decent position going into her last dealership, though.
Yes, she's going to take her last dealership with that.
Sometimes, I guess, if you're trying to work on your mental, win this cheap hand. Just be efficient. Get a cheap hand. Win it, and then once you've had that, you've settled your nerves. That's when you try and build something more valuable. Either way, though, Tsuchida is our last dealer. Sugawara is happy to deal into that. I think she just pays 2,000 points to move the game along to South 4. I think that's perfectly fine.
Right.
Donate to charities, you know.
Wait.
But yes, can Tsuchida... I don't think she can, based on how good Kojo's hand's looking. But can Tsuchida manage to keep this ball rolling? Can Kojo complete this hand and maybe get second place? I have seen no reason why Sugawara is going to be doing anything other than playing the cheapest, fastest hand possible.
I agree. That is a 5, is it not? Okay, Kojo. Not exactly the 789 Sanchoku, but... yeah, okay, gonna give up on that.
Interesting. I would have cut the 4-pin, just to keep that 789 Sanchoku available. But Kojo's just making sure to at least not be last in this last hand. I think that's fair.
Yeah, considering the point totals right now. And Tsuchida's hand is just not looking that great yet. Tsuchida's just sort of drawn the short straw here. Maybe 7 pairs is the way out. Especially if she gets a second Dora, but gonna have to find it.
One Dora is now in Kojo's hands, so it's gonna be harder to find that last 6-pin, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Trying to picture what value we've got in Kojo's hand. Obviously, we might be able to build Pinfu. We've got the Dora. With Riichi, Sumo, Ura. Like, there's definitely a path to value for Kojo to get into second place, but...
yes, she needs all the right tiles. I think 2 or 3 perfect draws.
Yeah.
2 or 3 single tiles. Oh, and there's, speaking of a single tile draw, Theriso for Tsuchida, filling in the nice 1-2 shape.
Yeah, that's not it, Kojo.
South 4, we're coming down to the wire here.
Mm.
None of these draws help. Okay, that one might.
Oh, that one does, yeah.
What do you play here, though? A lot of options. Maybe Forso out. Or Pin out?
Maybe so. Yeah, I can see that. I can see 9 Souls being okay here. We get rid of our pair, but guarantees a sort of 6, 7, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, 5-pin.
Draw for Sugawara, given Sugawara's probably not going for huge amounts of value.
Yeah, big thing about Sugawara's hand, she doesn't really have any conventionally safe tiles, so she's gonna have to do a lot of discard reading if somebody reaches ahead of her, or she's just gonna have to play aggressively even in first place and try and win the hand. Sometimes the best defense is offense when you don't have any safe tiles. Hey.
Although, with that...
Yeah, 1 away.
It does enable all simples.
1 away for Sugawara.
1 away. And she can call for Tenpai.
Right.
She might not choose to, but she has that option if it does pop up.
I think her hand just doesn't have enough safety to skip a call like that. I think you have to make the call there.
I think that's very reasonable, yeah. Kojo's still 1 away from Tenpai herself. Really hoping she draws the 6-pin, gets Dora 2 pin Fu. But it's a big ask. It's a big ask, unfortunately.
The 1 away improves for Sugawara. Even more tiles to Tenpai, but still not Tenpai. Feels the same way for a number of players. Yeah, Nagata as well, but this is Dora.
Yeah, she was 1 away, but now that's going to be a really tough ask, right? You can't just play Dora this late when it's live. No way.
Yeah.
Which means that she's going to have to slow down. And being in second when everyone else is this close to you, that's when it's the scariest time. So was that Tenpai for Sugawara? Drawing the 3-so there? Check that one out.
Alright, here we are back to Sugawara. It is indeed Tenpai.
Yeah, it sure was.
She hasn't been reaching with her big lead. So no obvious signs.
So 5-8 of characters.
This is also Tenpai. This one does require a reach though. None of these discards give Pinfu or Tanyao.
Yes.
But where to take the final weight? 6-9 pin or 4-7 mon or something else? 6-9 pin.
She's greedy, but at the same time, that's Dora too. It's very hard to pass up.
Yeah. Not only is that looking for the Dora draw, but also the 9 pin is a trap on the 8 pin that she started. The Sotogawa outside of the river.
It is over because we see a call followed by a deal-in from Tsuchida.
Yep, Sugawara catches with another Damaten. I can see the Negi-chan Negi-chan outfit, the uniform with her name on her nickname rather on the back.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Scores from left to right.
These 4 ladies are going to be playing 2 more games, but we're not going to get to watch that because we'll be shifting tables. Because for game 2, we'll be watching a different group of people. And I won't be here because I'll be joined, I'll be replaced, in fact, by the wonderful Jenn. But until then...
There we go, that's the unmute button.
That was a pretty exciting game though, right? There's a lot of interesting sort of situations where, say, looking at the players' first 3 discards, you could tell when people were going for something a bit weird. And one time it ended up being, I think, 7 pairs with Dora. But it could have been I think it could have been all wins or something like that as well. And then we had another situation where someone could have there was a chance they could have maybe pulled big 3 dragons.
Yes.
Turned out not to be the case. But it was very exciting. It still got them a Mangan, which guaranteed their 2nd place. So that was a pretty fun game to watch.
Yeah,
really
even the very first hand with the dealer Haneman, we're wondering where the East is going to come out, but all the East had come out to the other player's hand, so the East had to stay as a pair.
At the end of the day, with Reach and with the 2 East Dora.
Yeah, and the
Doesn't
Ippat
really
Sumo.
matter, right?
Ippat Sumo with 1 Uradora. That's how you find your value if you can't get that last East.
Yeah, just a Patsu Sumo. It's such an easy game.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was really fun. And I think chat does summarize that one. It's Sugawara's world. We're just living in it.
She played well following up into the South rounds. Some Damaten, some Silent Tempai to finish the game out.
We got to see some excellent sort of management, I guess, of the situation, right? Because sometimes it's really hard to play from ahead. But Sugawara was able to stay ahead, stay safe, but also choose to know the right times to Dharma so that she can just sort of pick a win away and cut down anyone else's momentum. There are definitely situations where I would have considered reaching, and maybe I would have got Riichi Sumo, maybe I would have flipped her over, but the fact that she Dharma'd meant that her win rate was higher, and so she managed to stop other players. It's really just really good to watch.
And we hope you continue to watch, so make sure to give the stream a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can continue watching these Sankei Shimbun individual playoffs, as well as the team playoffs next week, I believe. But of course, for now, we have the 4-day marathon, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Team finals happened last month, and we already have our team winner last month.
Yes.
The champion.
Sorry, the Saikyo-sen.
Saikyo-sen
team battle.
Yes.
Just because the Sankei Shimbun Cup is coming to an end does not mean that the broadcast from WRC will end. So please do.
We already have the new teams are already registered, and they're going to be doing their drawing later this month. So the new Sankei Shimbun Cup season is going to start in June.
Is ramping back up.
Yeah, there's no break. It's going. Last year it didn't start until July, but I think there's even more teams this year.
Oh, so that'll be exciting.
Or around the same number, yeah.
With the new sponsor.
Already registered.
Alright, well, I will leave you to enjoy the next 2 games. I'll be in chat. But yeah,
Alright,
this has been Mikhail signing off. And I hope the rest of the final is going to be really, really exciting today.
Thank you. And of course, our second players coming up here for the next set of 24, the next 4 in the group of 24. We have Saeka Fujii for Sakae. Saeka for Sakae. If you rearrange the letters in the
I just think about that every time she pops up here.
So I wonder if she's if it's done on purpose. Maybe she's a very important staff member at that mahjong parlor.
I think it was around before she started working there, but
it was just fate. It was mahjong's good fortune. Of course, we have the former M-Leaguer Maruyama, Kanako Maruyama for SPM for the Little Hair Club in the South seat. Well done on the individual performance this time. Right.
Yeah.
In the West seat, we've got Natsumi Negishi for NPM representing Team Maika. And in the North seat, we've got Arisa Nakano from the Orb League, another Orb League representative for Jansaku TV.
Also a member of the Saekoi and Pro-Professional Mahjong. Not pro-professional. Mahjong Association. Probably the Kansai branch, I would imagine. I've never met her before, but that is my assumption.
We're about to meet her mahjong play right now as we go into game 2.
As we It's youtube.com/at what is it? Pro Mahjong? I don't remember.
So Jenn is mentioning that she is the proud staff head, the lead of the new Japanese Professional Mahjong League English channel, JPML English, which
Japan Professional
is
Mahjong,
Japan
not Japanese.
Professional Mahjong League.
Yes. I know a lot of people say, and that's the name of the channel, yes, Japan Pro Mahjong.
Right.
YouTube.com/at Japan Pro Mahjong. Thank you for reminding me.
There you go.
That did it. Yeah, we have we're starting a new shorts series where you can like meet the JPML pros, and none of them have sent me videos yet, but I have some that I took, and hopefully they'll start sending them so I can put subtitles on them and send them out, put them up for everybody.
So here we are in East 1 of this Game 2. Maruyama has the West triplet, which is not her wind. Other than that, nothing too notable about these hands, but of note in this round, the Dora is the 3-so. That always makes for some exciting rounds here.
Tips' favorite Dora. So I mean, you always play like Sanzo is the Dora, basically. I feel like. So does anything change when it actually is a Dora?
Yeah, everybody else plays like it too. And it becomes much harder to win on that tile. But it's also more valuable. So back to our dealer here, Fujii. Wonder if Fujii will be looking for that Tanyao hand, that all-insides hand. The rest of our players don't seem to have any obvious Yaku coming out of their hands, so they'll most likely be looking for Riichi. There's quite a draw for Negishi, though. She is one away.
Oh, nice draw for Fujii.
Yes, also one away now.
Yeah, so just a 5 out of the 2 out for that 5. Possible a twin sequence. 5, 6, 7 of dots.
5,
Playing
6,
so fast.
6, 6, 7. Yeah, with the 5 stuck on the other side of her hand, it can be hard to see it at a quick glance, especially because we're switching through the camera views so fast.
Yeah, it was a kind of a tough decision. She made it very quickly, though. There's some extra sort of efficiency options with that 6 dot that she drew, but she decided to keep the double gutty, the Biancan shape, and it paid off with the 8 bamboo draw.
Maruyama's Tenpai waiting on 3-so Dora. Without the Riichi, she cannot win on Ron. But fighting a dealer Riichi is always very dangerous. So with somewhat of a weaker weight, in her opinion, she decided not to Riichi.
Nakano just drew a 4 bamboo and switched out the 1 bamboo, making it a little bit easier for her to get a Yaku for her hand, the inside hand shift. Right there, you can see it. And she also has that double gutty shot shape. Trying to fill something in. Maruyama just discards the entire West Anko, the entire West triple. Safety, and also rolling the hand over to try and make something else.
Oh, it looks like the English names have been swapped for West and North.
No.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
So Negishi is currently representing Team Maika in the West seat, and Nakano is representing Jansaku TV in the North seat. But Fujii is still the one Riichi, and Maruyama is still the one folding with her 3-so weight. That was just a little too hard to come by. So this now is Negishi's hand right here. And this here is Nakano's hand.
Yeah, if you can read hiragana, then the one with Arisa is Nakano's hand. I wonder when that happened. It looks like maybe it was done in the list, so probably the list also. I think, oh, yeah, I see why it happened.
Hmm.
All right, it's probably something, I mean, I don't know if you can type over it with the background too. Can you add
Indeed.
text to like do it?
Indeed. But here we are. That is another 3-so for Nakano.
Did you just say, what did you just say?
They said another 3-so Dora. Nakano drew
Oh,
another 3-so
3-so.
Dora.
Okay, yeah, totally misheard that. That would be Tenpai for Nakano. She will have to discard that 3-so to make the Tenpai, and she does.
Right.
And since Maruyama had not reached her 3-so weight, it passes. I have to say, Fujii is one of my favorite players.
Oh.
I've been in the same league with her many times. And she always just looks so cool there on the table.
All right. So now we are into East 1 once again, since Fujii was Tenpai. Let's see if this works. Not perfect, but it'll do for now, huh?
That looks pretty good. Looks very good. Perfect. I'll just double check the third video really quick and make sure it's correct. While we're setting up here for hand 3. Hand 2.
And 2, yeah. This is East 1, one repeat.
Yeah, still the first hand, the second version of the first hand. All right, you can look forward to game 3 with correct names underneath or on the overlay. It's gonna be great. Remember, the players only start with 25,000 in these rules. In the normal WRC rules, they're gonna start with 30,000 at the beginning of the game. Of course, the players have to return 30,000, so there is a 5,000 point ante, essentially.
Right.
Nakano's hand just cruising along. She had already pawned the east and cheated the 3 bamboo for 3-4-5 shape. So it's a very short hand right now.
Yeah, that 4-mon drew very nicely for Negishi. Though it still may not be fast enough to catch Nakano, as you mentioned.
And Nakano just went away with a flush hand. And the dealer Fujii's hand is also just one away from ready, I believe. Yeah, just waiting for to fill in something in the bamboos, probably, or triple something up with the red dragon. Or in the
And
characters.
this 9, even though it doesn't mix with the 5, 6, 7 mixed triple, it does allow her to catch the 8 pin for Tempai. Still not there yet, though. Fujii is not there either.
Fujii is contemplating another double gutty there. The 335 dot shape she decided to keep instead of the 357. Of course, that allows her to pawn the red dragon if it comes out. But is it gonna come out?
Doesn't seem super likely right now.
Yeah, it really depends on. Well, Negishi will probably end up dropping it. It really depends on what Nakano draws to get it. If she gets something in the bamboos, like a 6, 7, 8, or even 9, I think it will see it come out. But
Right.
all the 9 bamboos are pretty much accounted for.
Oh, we've got a chi. This might be it, but this would end up dealing in. No, it's not it. The red dragon is kept. Too dangerous on the board. Oh, and a fold even?
No,
Not quite.
she had 6,
Not
6,
quite
7.
there yet, yes.
So she wasn't quite tempai yet. She was one away. And she decided to keep the west to maybe have another option for a single weight at the end if she is able to fill in the 5-8 bamboo.
So triple
So it's a little
fives.
bit less efficiency, I think, but
Right. But more chances for a sneaky weight come to the end. Oh,
there's
now
tempai for
the red
Fujii.
dragon deals in.
Yeah, there we go. It's the shovel weight. Actually, really great weight if you're a dealer. A lot of people want to fold, and a lot of people choose honor tiles to fold with when they run out of other things. So it's
Looking at about 20 tiles left in the wall. 5 draws each for each player. What a draw here. Maruyama could be tempai, depending on how aggressive she plays this.
I mean, the 9 character isn't even terribly aggressive. It's not obviously safe on the board, but an edge tile push is not.
It is the dealer, though. She's gonna go for it. No Riichi, though. But still with the mixed the twin sequence, the Ipeko in the middle, she can Ron. She does have Yaku. Just not gonna be worth very much.
Maruyama in first place going into this game. Of course, they'll have one more game after this that we won't get to see, but the top 2 players of the total scores for all 3 games are going to move on to the semifinals. These are the quarterfinals. So Maruyama trying to defend those points while also needing to gain a bit more because
it works. 6 pin, not exactly the safest tile, but it doesn't deal into the big dealer hand, the smaller Maruyama hand, you know. Maybe Nakano is okay with that, all things considered. She's just under her starting points of 25,000. It does pass Fujii's dangerous dealership. And Maruyama perfectly fine with being in the lead now with her classic Maru-shaped glasses. The O. The rounded glasses. Can't miss her.
yeah, that shoots her into a really solid first place overall. It's a really small lead on the second table, but her big lead in the first game is gonna give her an advantage as we go into East 2.
East 2 now on Nakano's hand. All hands looking fairly reasonable. Actually, Fujii's hand here might be the fastest of them all. She also has a single 5-so, which is Dora, but it's not connected to anything. Call is made to give her an extra draw. And it looks like Fujii and Nakano could be off to the races very quickly on this hand.
Alright, some difficult shapes to deal with in Negishi's hand. Bit
Right.
slower than the other players. Fujii hangs on to the Dora Suji, the 8 bamboo. Not sure if it really helps the hand much, but she'll keep it for now. Probably. Interesting.
There's a lot of trouble here.
Really hanging on to that Dora Suji. I wonder what the story is there. I don't really see how it helps the hand much. It looks like it's gonna be dangerous later.
Perhaps.
There it goes.
There it goes.
And the Dora is still floating in Fujii's hand, so if she tenpai, she might have to release it.
Yeah, depending on the value of her hand, that might just be fine. Or, depending on the speed of her hand, might also be fine if it's extremely fast. But if you don't have either or, it might be a tough sell for Fujii to discard that 5 cell. Still one away though. And the 5 cell
there
is
was
not
an option
included.
there to sort of shift, keep the 2 bamba and shift to a Tanyao hand.
Right.
Leaving 2 gut shots, but she lets the 2 go and it's pulled immediately across the table by Nakano. Still 1 away, but lots of open-endeds in her hand.
Oh, 5, 6, 7. Alternate options? Yep, okay. Just shifts the weight from 5, 6, 7, from 6, 7, 8 down to 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, the reason I was talking about that shift to Tanya is it really looks like she's looking for a way to use that Dora, and that would give her some options to use it. Although it slows the hand down. But in the North Sea, it might be okay to slow the hand down for some value.
Another pair. And out comes the Dora. Chi. So when talking about Tanya, it looks like Maruyama will be going for that inside
Yeah, she's gonna
hand.
try and backdoor into it because that 7-8 bamboo shape leaves her vulnerable to a possible free 10 if she gets the 9 first. Or if the 9 comes out first.
Oh, finds an east. Maybe go with that instead? Nope. No dice. Too many have been discarded already. Oh yeah, 2 of them have been discarded already. It's not possible. It's not possible any longer.
Yep. Too many. Just all of them.
7 so discarded.
Makes the East completely safe though, so she can keep going with her hand and she won't have to worry about
That's right.
dealing in with her tenpai discard.
Triple 1s, but because she's already discarded the pair, this is not tenpai.
Not tenpai, and also misses out on that great 2-3-6 weight shape that I love. There's the Tanya for
a really good draw.
Fujii. I will not say I told you so because you just don't know what's gonna come. She definitely took the more efficient route. The route that I was talking about was just a little bit more value, possibly.
Big Riichi for Negishi. Well, the value might not be big, but the effect on this table here should be pretty big. Yes, you can see Maruyama as the dealer really stuck after that Riichi. Not really many safe tiles.
Not many safe tiles, and she's gonna push into something that doesn't even have a guaranteed Yaku. There are 3 9 bamboos on the board, so chances are she will get the... If she gets something, it will be the Tanyao side, but actually a lot of 6s are gone or used already as well.
Yeah, and that was basically her last chance for tenpai, it feels like, when the 4-pin got discarded. She discarded 3-pin going for the shampoo and 4-pin weight. And didn't call it because it was a little too dangerous. So it looks like she's going to be playing defensively. Oh, maybe not. Getting the perfect tile. Now she can discard 4-pin because it's safe. Or she can go directly at it. No, not quite.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing after Reach is a good idea to avoid pawns, since it gives you 2 safe tiles.
Right.
Especially, it's not applicable in this case, but... Oh, Tempai for Fujii, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna
3-1,
do?
6-1.
Does not take Tempai, instead chooses a Suji discard to the 4 dot.
Yeah, might still make Tempai later. It looks like about 15
Yep.
tiles left in the wall to go. No,
So
there's
just
not that many.
rolling, not that many.
Yeah, maybe like
Maybe
10
10-ish.
or less. Yeah.
But what I was mentioning before is a lot of people want to cancel the ippatsu after
Right.
a reach. Much better to do that with a chi than with a pon.
Yeah, if you have to do a pawn, it's often better not to do it at all. But it was a little bit different because it made Maruyama Tempai there. In fact, she might have even won when the 6-0 was discarded after. Hard to say if it would have still come out, but...
Yeah, because the draws would have been a different order
Right.
as well, so...
But she plays it safe here. It doesn't look like she's going to get Tempai in the end. Here's Fujii after this, 2 more tiles. Is this a Tempai for
This
Fujii?
is
Yes,
Tempai. She
could be.
discards the 9
She's not
character,
going
and
to.
the 9 character with the blockers there, with the 8, I might have pushed it.
She's going to maintain complete safety. Maruyama does not find a Tempai. And the last tile, is it? It is not a winning tile. So, Negishi Tempai?
The only Tempai player, will collect 1,000 points from each of the other players, and this will bring us into her dealership.
East 3. So this game so far a little bit slower than our first game. But it's well known that the professional players' games have many more draws than your average amateur players' games.
Is that true? I mean, I don't play
Yes.
a lot of amateur games because there's always at least one pro at the table.
Right.
So-
You can't play a pure amateur game once you're a pro yourself, right? But yes, the rate of exhaustive draws in pro games, often some of the articles say double the rate of
Wow,
playing with just amateurs.
interesting. I wonder if there's also a higher rate of Tempai. I wonder what the difference is between people going for like just the Tempai for the exhaustive draw
Right.
in pro versus amateur games. That would be interesting to know as well.
Here we have Fujii, maybe a Kokushi attempt, 13 orphans for Fujii. Her hand really doesn't allow her to do much better than that. So we might see a Yakuman here. Oh,
Just take a moment to brag about the kokushi that I got in my Japanese mahjong stream in Taiwan last month.
congratulations.
It was, yeah, it feels really good to do that on stream. I'm not sure I've ever had a Yakuman like that on stream. I've had Tempai, but not.
Right.
Can't remember if I've actually won Yakuman on stream before. I mean, like live playing on stream. Obviously, I play Sama all the time, so I have lots of Yakumans on my stream.
That is one of the advantages. More Yakuman in 3-player Mahjong or Sanma.
For some people, I feel like, do you have a higher rate of Yakuman in your Sama games?
Yes.
I still haven't seen you get Yakuman in your Sama games.
Definitely.
Really?
I have...
Did you get them on stream before when you were playing Sama?
I don't know. Maybe? I think I have
I
at
feel like
least
you
one.
don't play Sama unless people use channel points for it.
Well,
Except, of course,
that's
the
my
Roddle.
stream. But Nakano here is maybe not going for the half flush that we originally thought. She got a really good shape in the Manzu, like 5 and 6. So maybe she's just going to play a Tanyo here. Negishi's still trying to figure out exactly where to go, especially when you see someone going for 13 orphans and you have a pair of honors. Okay, no, the 5/6 are discarded from Nakano's hand, so she's going to go back for the half-flush. And Fujii actually kind of stopped going for 13 orphans when she drew the Ipeiko shape, the twin sequences. That's very interesting. So it looks like everyone's initial plans kind of got a little mixed up, but Nakano is still going back to her original plan here. Which is a little hard because other than the 5/6 mon, a lot of the other shapes in her hand were not that great. So we'll see just how long it takes if she can come back to Tenpai. Or not come back to Tenpai, but if she can reach Tenpai taking the slower route. I wonder if she...
Maruyama marching a little bit towards Tenpai.
Yeah, I wonder if Nakano felt like the 7 mon were in other players' hands. Because at some point Fujii started drawing some 7 mon. Maruyama has 7 mon as well. And it's not completely obvious to me that that happened, but maybe Nakano has some sort of read on the discards on the table that told her the 7 mon were not really good. Or maybe she's just looking for a lot of points. Either way, she gave up on 5/6 mon and is going for the half flush.
I mean, there's at least 1/4 in the discard.
6, 7, 8 for
Could have been the
Maruyama.
4 that... Yeah, possible shift down to a mixed sequence hand. The 6, 7, 8 shape.
Oh, huge draw for Nakano. We might be looking at a full flush now. Big points, maybe even closed. Haneman level.
Yeah, it does look more like a full flush.
Yeah, the honor tiles just really don't look that good for Nakano's hand, so I'm really expecting a full flush from that. One away from Tenpai.
Going into the last row though, so she's still got a lot of ground to make up with that full flush.
Is this Tenpai? I think it is. Discard 3 mon. You have a Tenpai here for Maruyama. I wonder if there's any other Tenpais. I don't think there's any other
That's
Tenpai.
the only one. But lots of options to upgrade so she doesn't reach.
Right. Oh, do we see the call? Oh, grabbed it? No, calling it with some different tiles.
She wants to be a little bit tricky about what's in her hand and not give everything away.
Tenpai on the red dragon. Not quite the full flush here, but we're so close to the end. Take what you can get.
Also, like, really easy to upgrade it still. Alright, that's a Tanyo Tenpai, so Maruyama will take.
Yeah, now she can roam. She has
now she can roam, but still doesn't reach because there's still that Sanshoku upgrade.
Yeah, and we're also so close to the end here. Maybe about 15 tiles. This time actually looks like 15, even after double checking. Now we're down to about 10. Can any of our players find what they're looking for? Fujii doesn't look like she's going to be fast enough now. Huh. I mean, that is Tenpai. Is it Furiten? I think it's Furiten.
But 3-sided weight for a possible full straight.
Oh, is she going to just throw it back? Nope, she's going to take Furiten.
3-sided weight. I mean, if she draws the 9, that's way more value than what she had before.
Right. Oh, a different Tenpai. Full flush. Open, so only Mangan this time, but we'll take Mangan this late into the game. And it's also a very solid weight. I wonder if her Nakano's weight is also Furiten. Didn't actually take a look at her discard pile, but doesn't look like there are any Sozu in it at all. So
Maruyama's hands was really interesting there. I always like to talk about the golden one away. She was Tenpai, but also had a golden 1 away because she was 1 away for either mixed sequences or a full straight. Although she was already Tenpai, there was still another 1 away shape there.
Yep, and with this few tiles left in the wall, it's best to just keep the template. Oh, there's the last red dragon. Oh! No, it's not it. It's not a win.
She's got to decide what to. She can change the 5-6-9 weights. Right now she has a 1-4 weight, which is pretty bad. I think she's maybe trying to decide.
Yeah, it's just so close to the end. There's only one more tile left.
So close to the end, but is the one even dangerous at all?
Oh,
I guess it just doesn't matter really. It's just nobody's gonna discard it. I have 2 players tempai.
And we move on. Red and green and red and green. But more importantly, the dealer was a red, which means we are on to East 4. 2 Honba, 2 repeat counters, and 1 Riichi stick up for grabs. So 1,600 bonus points on the table for the next winner of a hand. As we mentioned before, that hand started, just the rate of draws much higher in the pro games. Draw after draw here. There were a lot of them in the first game as well. I think even for pro games so far today, the draw rate has been higher than normal.
Well, we're also in sort of a different position than you normally see, and we're also with all the winning players from the season. During the season, you get a really wide range of a lot of new pros, veteran pros, and now we have everybody who just had a great season and they made it this far. And with how many players? There's almost 200 players, so to make it to the top 24 is really a feat.
This looks like it is going to be a Toitsuba pairs and triplets round. I say that as Nakano cuts one of her pairs to make a run, but oh, doesn't want that pair. Interesting. Fujii doesn't want. She had a lot of pairs and triplets, but she did not want another one. And another pair is broken down, so I'm being proven wrong by the pros right now. They're all playing sequences.
Yeah, Toitsuba, but they're just denying the
just
ridiculous all pairs hand.
Yeah, we can see Nakano really valuing the 1 mon because it's Dora here.
Yeah, I think actually with Corak coming in for the next game, I think he would approve of cutting all these pairs. Another player that's not a big fan of 7 pairs.
Oh, a pair returns for Maruyama. Okay. Continue. South is discarded. We are still in the East round. Oh, another 1, 2, 3. This could be huge.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 with 1 as a Dora there. If she can use it in the hand, it will be lots of extra value.
5, 6. Oh, cuts the 6-0 from the inside. Maruyama not looking for that late with many other pairs in her hand. Oh, 3 Dora! 3 Dora for Fujii.
And Fujii really needs that value. I came into the game in last place. Barely in last place now. Definitely close enough to try and take over first place. And remember, the first place Uma and Oka combination means that just getting first place is an extra 50 points for for whoever gets first.
So, looks like Maruyama, the only player truly playing pairs and triplets on this hand. We'll see if it pays off for her.
She's active. You just start actively avoiding discarding of any dots to the flush player to her right. She has a really awkward shape in the dots, but she decides that she's going to keep them and goes for the pairs hand in order to do so.
Cutting down a triplet to make 5 pairs with the widest amount of weights and avoiding the flush on her side. 2, 3, 4.
Oh my god.
Okay.
The 8 dot just came out, so she will discard it, and it is cheat.
Yes.
But
this hand is
still 2 away.
Yeah, not in great shape, but to other players, it could definitely look tempai right now. Gonna
Yeah,
put
it's
the
sort of a
put the
semi bluff,
clamps
and I
on.
think it's another move that I think Corak is a big fan of, calling twice and still being two away as well. That's Corak's signature things in this game.
It might just be a matter of Korak is a fan of calling.
Yeah, it's very, very high call rate in Corak's stats.
Oh, out comes 7-mon. Oh, one away now. Still not quite 10-5, but one away. Sometimes I wonder
Going
the way
into
she's
row
playing with her
3.
hand so much if it doesn't tip some information to our other players.
Fujii reach now.
Yeah, very solid weight that she found. Oh, and a very solid weight for
And
Negishi as
bye.
well. Oh, and
There's
a
a
very
6-9
solid weight for
dot.
Nakano too. Of course, all the
Yeah, and all
fours.
the fours used up, so if she wins, it might be on the higher 1 dot. There's only one
Oh,
in the discards.
so
3
close, but
dot.
no. It's a 3 dot, not a 4. 2 dot. Oh, but there's a win. 5.
5 dot came first to Fujii with the 3 Dora in her hand. Reach Sumo Dora Dora Dora. That'll be 2,000, 4,000, and put her in the lead.
Yeah,
A
plus a
lead that she
lot of
desperately
bonus
needs.
points.
Yeah, lots of reach 6 on the table and 2 continuances with the exhaustive draws, and that will put us into the south round.
Here we go. South round, and Fujii, who was last place before that hand, is now first place. As you mentioned, she was also last place in the first game for this top 24. They're split up into groups, and each group plays the same players 3 times. So she was playing these other 3 players in the first game. Came out on the bottom, so she's got to turn it around here, and so far she's doing so. It's also her dealer. It's a chance to stretch the lead now, but Nakano's hand looks like it might have something else to say. Well, it doesn't look like Nakano's alone though. Maruyama with a good draw here. Even Negishi, whose hand didn't look great at the beginning, now has a pair of white dragons. And that white dragon comes out and he calls. Woo! Negishi lets it fly. No white dragon, but her patience is rewarded with a 6-0 draw on the inside, connecting her Dora with the 5-0. So I guess fortune favors the patient in this case, not snapping up the white dragon and getting an even better tile in return. Looks like this hand is going to be a very interesting battle.
Yeah, another option, not quite the golden one away, but another option for either full straight or Sanshoku.
Negishi with another draw, filling one of her shapes. She is 1 away. I don't imagine she would let the last white dragon go here, but we still have not seen it yet. So it remains to be seen whether we will see the last white dragon at all. Four, 4, 5, 5, but Fujii does not like that shape. She's gonna discard the 4 right back. Still no tempai here for Negishi, even though she has so many different tiles that would do it. Another pair. Nakano could definitely be looking at 7 pairs. She is.
She reaches with the Sansa weight. She must have known that Tips was going to be commentating today.
A counter reach from dealer.
Waiting for a 4-7 dot. Which will prevail? Which is the stronger weight?
Maruyama. Hard to play defense against 2 players. It's not exactly an early reach, but it's very close. It's not a late reach either. There is a 3-so, but Maruyama will not discard it, at least not yet. And some more safe tiles for Maruyama to use. Looks like she's just folding now. Negishi has a bit of a harder decision. She has 2 Dora in her hand, and she's had really good shapes. Oh, but she is also going to start folding as well. 2 Riichis is just too much pressure.
Yeah, Maruyama is in a really comfortable position. And coming into the game in first place and now in second place still. So she has a significant lead over second place, but not for long as Fujii draws the 7-dot and hits the Ura with that 7-dot.
The winning tile, also Uradora, double value there. So Fujii with some big points. Dealer Mangan catches her Riichi stick as well as Nakano's Riichi stick. Now double
She's
the
gaining
points.
on the first place position, yeah,
That's
overall.
right. Double the points of second place right now. Here we are, 1 repeat, still South 1, still Fujii's dealer. Nakano hoping to come back after that lost Riichi battle. Nice draw here for Nakano. 1, 2, 3 man fills in the inside weight. Oh, not bad for Maruyama. What will she do with this 7-8-so in hand?
How long will she hang on to the coveted Sanzo?
Goodbye,
Not
3-so.
long.
Goodbye, Sanzo. Oh, 3-4. But she keeps the 1 pin. Negishi there. Oh, 2-so. Could have been used with 3-so, but it's too late now. And now the 1 pin comes out for Negishi. Extra 1 man here for Nakano. She's not going to use it.
She really wants to make sure to use both of those Dora, and they're already locked in with the 1, 2, 3, 3 for 5 shape. So she'll find her pair
Huge
elsewhere.
fix in there for Fujii, getting the 7 man. Another inside weight finished, and she's 1 away. 7, so Nakano. A little bit of improvement,
She's
not
really,
enough.
she's really hanging on to the sort of the 1, 2, 3 possible Sanshoku shape.
Oh, here's
I mean,
a 3-so.
Nakano does need more value than any of the other players at this point. Maruyama hanging on to that 2-4 for the Dora acceptance. Gets rid of the 4, but still maintains Dora acceptance with the 1-1-2 shape.
Can change the 1 away shape, but kind of keeps it the same. Is willing to wait for the 4 man here to keep Dora in hand.
Not gonna fills in one of her open-ended shapes. Fill in doesn't quite sound right for open-ended. I wonder if there's a better word. Like fill in makes it really sound like it's filling a hole.
Yeah,
and that makes me think of like
Yeah.
the inside weight or even a side weight, but I guess completes is a little bit more
Right.
accurate as far as image goes, but we'll have to think about that one. 5 character, not very useful, but she's kind of, it looks like maybe kind of wary about what the other players are doing at this point and decides to keep it.
Ooh, cuts a piece of the pair of 9 man. Seems like all of our players are a little wary of dealing in here. And there goes the other 9-mon pair. Would have been Tenpai had she kept the pair, but going to use it to
Maruyama
move
will
towards
chi
Tanya, I
another.
suppose.
Maruyama moving towards a possible outside hand and Sanshoku. Both backdoor. Both would have to be backdoored into as they're open-ended weights, but
Finds
Fujii's
a
hand still looking a little bit
1-so.
faster than Maruyama's. She cannot get rid of that 4 bamboo fast enough.
Oh, but Fujii really wants the 4 of bamboos 4-so.
Yeah, her hand was looking a lot faster than the other hands. Even though Maruyama is the same one away, there's certain restrictions on which tiles she can use for a Yaku, so it doesn't look quite as fast. That's Senpai for Negishi.
Oh, she's gonna go right in. 5-mon.
And for Nakano. Both
And
Tenpai, and now
Fujii.
Tenpai for Fujii as well.
Here we go.
3 Tenpais.
4 Tenpai
And
battle.
Maruyama Tenpais as well.
All out
She
Tenpai
can only win on
war.
the 9 bamboo, and that's what comes out.
Whoa, right off the bat. What a
Everybody
big set of
Tenpais in the
points.
same round, and just takes 1 discard for one of those hands to win. And it was the hand that would have had the hardest time winning, since that was the only tile that she could have won on.
The beautiful Junchan Sanchoku, the full outside mixed triple sequence hand. Definitely worth more closed, but open is no slouch either.
Yeah, and she still maintains her first place overall position and also moves the dealership away from Fujii to herself.
South 2. Maruyama Manga.
Yeah, 1 open-ended and 1, what we call is fake open-ended. Well, in 1, 2, 3 shape. Arianmen. Bad, or I like calling it fake open-ended. So it's a wannabe. It's a wannabe. It's a poser. Poser shape.
Maruyama with a triple guest win, just like how she started this game off in East 1. We'll see if it works out for her this time. It didn't work out in East 1. But her hand is actually a lot further forward, and this time she's the dealer as well, so that gives her a little more presence on the board. Of course, we saw that pair of green dragons. That might be a fighting chance. And Nakano might be going for half flush. Wait, Nakano was going for half flush in East 1, the same hand that Maruyama had the triplet of guest wind. Oh, but this time Negishi might flip the script on. Him. She's got 5 dragons.
Sansa triple up for Nakano. She cannot lose this hand.
Dragon is called. Dragon number 1 is called. Nakano's hand looking better and better, although I'm not sure she's going to go all the way for the flush.
I don't think she will. She's really efficient. A lot of efficiency in her hand right now. Open-ended upgrade for Maruyama. Probably see. Yeah, she'll keep the south for the safe tile, and also not the safe tile, for the Dora.
Dora, yeah.
Yeah, for the Dora, and I mean, actually, a Dora like that is early on could be pretty safe, but she keeps it over efficiency.
5, 6, 7.
We'll get rid of it. There it goes.
That's Tenpai. Doesn't have Yaku though.
Yeah, she keeps getting these Tenpais with no Yaku and not reaching, I think because of her first place position. She doesn't want to lose those points easily.
It is an open-ended weight though, so the shape is overall better than last time, but no Yaku means she cannot roam from here. I wonder what she's looking for.
Yeah, it's hard to find. Maybe she's not.
Oh, she's waiting 1 turn. She's
summoned
the occult technique.
And is that's the North American move I've heard.
Right. They call it American Riichi.
Yeah, it was kind of. I mean, it might have been just giving herself time to take a breath and make sure that that's really what she wanted to do. I guess without losing speed.
Yeah, Nakano,
in her
since the
strides.
Riichi has just been folding, Negishi is kind of there, does not con. Negishi is not confident in her hand. Although, to be fair, if she makes big 3 dragons, the con would not be worth anything anyway. But it would be worth an extra draw. So she doesn't
An
feel
extra
confident
draw,
enough.
but going against when she has an open hand and she can't use the Uradora, but there is a
Right.
Reach player who can use the Uradora, it's a lot more valuable for other players than it
Especially
is
the
for her.
dealer. Now, how does Nakano play? Oh, she's still folding. Looks like Nakano is out of this hand, no matter how good her draws are being. Maruyama
And
sumos.
Maruyama
Finds an Uradora. So that's not bad for
not
Maruyama.
conning. Not conning was the correct answer. But I don't think you'll see very many players con in that position.
Right.
Possibly if she's Tempai, but not before then.
Yeah, a little bit far away.
I think I just reached Sumo Uradora. That would be 2,000 points. All was it 2,000 or 4,000? I sort of missed it.
2,000 all, I'm barely sure. Yeah, she's still over 10,000 points away from Fujii, so it was not a Mangan.
But we will see another dealership for Maruyama.
Right. Maruyama has mentioned that she would like to have another crack at M League.
Actually, a lot of former M Leaguers playing in the
Yes.
Extruding Kazan audition this year.
Oh. That's definitely another crack at M League.
Yeah, especially because Rumi Nikaido has announced that she will be graduating from the team this year. She has some health issues, so she's actually taking a break from all official tournaments for this year. It's not clear if she will play in the Sankei Shimbun Cup. The team, I think it's a new sponsor for their team, but Taiko Nakano and also, not this Nakano, but Taiko Nakano and Aki Nikaido have a spot open on their team. It looks like maybe they're saving it in case Rumi feels better during the season.
Well, we wish her the best with her health.
So the interesting thing about this team match for the Sankei Shimbun Cup is that you can start out with 2 players and you can add a 3rd player basically any time during the season.
Oh.
You can't switch out a player who has already played a game, but
Right.
if a player hasn't played a game, then you can switch them out pretty much any time.
Interesting, because remember May's Bar was playing with 2 players.
Yeah, you can
For
play
the
the whole
whole
season with
season.
2 players as well.
Yeah.
So right now the WRC team only has 2 players announced.
6, 7, 8 here for Maruyama. A lot of options. She's gonna cut the 1-2 shape, 1-2 man shape on the end. And nothing too valuable here, at least not yet. But if Maruyama gets to Riichi, she's the dealer. She has 1 Dora. It could turn into something huge.
Yeah, she did draw the more efficient 2 bamboos to go with her pair of 1s.
Fujii with the quick call. Adding a 2nd one to her original call. Trying to end this hand quickly since she's in the lead. Trying to stop 2nd place from coming back.
Now deciding if it's worth it to go for the
The pairs? That's pair number
Possible
5.
pairs, but also it's only 2 away from Suanko.
She does have one triplet, that's right. Not going for either. Maximum efficiency.
We coined a new term, Jenn Shanten. That's how many Shanten you are from Yakuman. Not just how many you are away from
I see.
ready, but Yakuman ready.
I think that checks out.
This also just a couple away from Suanko.
It's always a
That's
very
generally before,
specific couple.
yeah. Last month it was every hand was how many you are away from Suanko, but I've extended that for the Jenn Shanten definition to include any Yakuman.
Wonder, you're measuring how many tiles from Kokushi, how many tiles from Naisang.
Yeah, it's mostly used for, of course, Kokushi and Suanko, but can be used for any Yakuman.
Well noted. Oh, Maruyama is 1 away from Tenpai here. She's Ishan 10. But
Kyle says
not
we could have used that term earlier. It's your fault
Suanko.
for not watching the JPML stream this week. I will not take responsibility for you not knowing that term.
Oh, Tenpai! Fujii
Open-ended
finds the
waits.
first Tenpai here. It's a good one.
She really wants to maintain the lead in this game and also try and end Maruyama's dealership.
Here comes more Jenn Shanten. Oh, stepping back in Jenn Shanten, but further forward in regular Shanten. 1 away, going for the 7 pairs move. No Kokushi, no Suanko attempt here, no 4 concealed triplets. Just looking for 7 pairs. Nakano does not find it. Not yet, anyway.
Negishi, when we come back around to Negishi, she's looking for a full straight. I think just 1 away from ready as well.
Yes, Negishi's got the 1 through 8, I think. Looking for the 9. Still not Tenpai for Maruyama. Going to discard a pair here. 1 so. And no Tenpai yet for Negishi either. Oh, not a bad tile to pair weight on, but other tiles can be dangerous. Discards it anyway, though. 3-pin discarded, just barely avoids dealing into Fujii there. 4, 5, 6. Maruyama might have something different.
Negishi now just contemplating how dangerous that 8 dot is.
Too dangerous. She's gonna hold on to it, at least for now. Oh, there's Tenpai. And the West Wind. But the thing is, West is
West wind.
Nakano's.
Best wind.
West is Nakano's wind. So it might be hard to get anyone to discard it. And obviously we saw Fujii has a pair of them. Although because she has a pair of them, maybe that means they'll be discarded. Obviously we see Negishi with a West Wind in her discard. So if Fujii tries to fold, that might end up making her deal in. Oh, smart fold? Does not deal the West.
Just one tile left, so she could just find the one that she was sure would pass. And
Yes.
Nakano was the only Tenpai player. Collects 1,000 points from each of the other player, and we see another exhaustive draw in this pro match.
Yep, that gets her into 3rd place, though. For now. 1 Riichi stick up for grabs, 2 repeat counters, 2 Homba. So 1,600 points again as bonus for the next hand. Here we are. Oh, and we remember earlier today we saw the Negi-chan uniform from the back. Negishi wearing it right now for Team Maika.
So what they've done is they've staggered the matches a bit. So there's no way to avoid the first 3 tables playing their first 3 games at the same time. Table D started their first game, I think, one later, so that their third game will be played on the stream. So after this game, all of the games that we see will be the third games. So you'll be able to actually see who advances to the semifinals with each game. So they're going to be really exciting.
Those final matches, especially when players know that they need a certain amount of points to move on.
A certain amount of points to move on, and also just to get to second place, which makes it a lot more interesting than actually like playing for first place. Because there's a lot more dynamics in who you have to be ahead of, and also, more chances for people to win into the advancement. Whereas in first place, I mean, if you're playing for only first place, then the last place player often gets really stuck without a lot to do by the last hand.
These hands, none of them seem to be going that well so far. Are we going to end up with another draw?
I mean,
That's 3
Negishi really just
pairs.
wants to get to Tenpai as quickly as possible and willing to call for it, so she doesn't want to dote on a possible all pairs hand. Probably wants to leave more options for calling tiles for a faster Tenpai. Although the pairs can help you pawn. It's a really difficult balance.
Oh, triple south for Maruyama. That's pretty good.
This is a south round, so it makes it a lot easier to move with the rest of the hand. At least judging by this game, she's not used to having a Yaku already in her hand before Tenpai.
Right. She kept drawing guest wind triplets, but this time it's finally a round wind.
Yeah, finally a useful triple.
Wonder if she's actually going to go for the half flush with that draw. Nope, doesn't look like it.
I don't think so. I mean, the rest of the hand is so far away and so sort of crappy. She'll probably just call anything to get to Tenpai.
Yeah.
She really doesn't want Negishi to stay dealer. Probably her and Fujii both just want to end the game as quickly as possible in the positions they're in. And yeah, she does. Chi, the Sanzo, the 3 bamboo.
Snapped it up, can't let it go. And another 3, so Negishi connects with this one. That's making her hand quite a bit better, actually.
Better, but I don't feel like she took the most efficient discard.
Probably just looking for that twin sequence Yaku. Oh, triple 8s. Is it working? It's kind of working.
Fujii also calls, looking for Tenpai as quickly as possible. Just wants to end Negishi's dealership and not have to think.
5, 6, 7. Not quite Tenpai. Almost there. A lot of different ways to get to Tenpai, though. Nakano calls. I'm sure she wants more points than that, but probably feels her hand is forced here with all the calls on the table.
There's nobody except Negishi that wants Negishi to stay dealer.
Everyone else is just moving so quickly. Oh, is this any good? It doesn't seem good to me.
No, the 6 bamboo's already discarded, so it's not really useful. I think she's seeing all the calls and is just worried about exactly what just happened being called again.
Indeed. Well, at least it wasn't a deal-in.
Fujii skips out on Tenpai, discards the red dragon. There's 2 red dragons out on the table. Is that why? Or this?
Dora is too important here with 3-pin.
I think there's 2. At least I see 2 red dragons out, so it's not very useful.
And this is
Would
still
not
not
give her a
Tenpai.
Yaku.
Still not Tenpai. Oh!
Not Tenpai, but there's a possible double twin sequence.
Yeah, the twice pure double sequence. The Ryan Peiko, the legendary Ryan. Well, Tenpai. Maruyama Tenpai, 7 man. Of course!
There is Tenpai for the Janpeiko.
Oh!
Insta-reach.
Oh
Waiting for the first 7 character.
That means Maruyama has the head bump seat. Oh, swaps it.
North,
South for
yep.
south. Very sneaky.
Interesting. A little bit different than the normal swappy doppy that we see.
Right. This would be a pretty brutal head bump if it happens. Although I can't see players discarding 7 man regardless at this point. So it's probably just gonna be a matter of who draws it. And of course, Negishi can also win on 4 man, so that's a bit of an advantage for her.
But Maruyama takes
it.
Negishi's dreams are shattered.
That is a tough pill to swallow there for Negishi.
Maruyama just doesn't find a hand she can't win. Just 400, 700. The South plus the middleweight sumo brings her fu up to 40.
And that brings us to the final hand, because dealer Negishi just could not find her tile there for the win. Maruyama found it instead.
Yeah, if you're learning how to score right now, basically if you have an honor tile triple concealed in your hand, a lot of the time you're going to move up to 40 fu with a draw. So make sure, especially in those cases, that you double count your fu.
Here we are, all last. Maruyama just 1 mangan away from even supplanting Fujii in first place. Very close. Nakano, of course, has the dealer seat, so she has time to make some repeat hands. But she might not have time.
Fujii is off to the races, yeah. 1 away from ready with lots of places, lots of sticky.
Yes, very good
1
shapes.
away options.
Amazing shapes there for Fujii. Oh. Big thinking here. What's the best move? 3-pin. Huh. Oh, maybe a 7 pairs maneuver for Negishi.
Yeah, Negishi is really going to have to just bet all on the last game, I think. But if she can pull off a Chitoi with some Dora, then she can get a big hand. But there's not even enough pairs really for it. Maybe an outside hand, actually.
Maybe. But
Fujii will pawn for Tenpai.
yeah, Fujii's not about to let that happen. Not if she has anything to say about it.
Yeah, she's waiting for the Dora Suji, so it might not come out easily. There's still a fair number in the wall. Let's see, there's 2 here. 1, 2, none here. Oh, there's another 1, 2 here. So that's 4 in people's hands right now.
Four, 5, 6. That's a tough decision to make between pairs or runs at that point, right in the middle. Nakano gets something very similar. Oh, but don't have to make the
Fujii will
decision
draw
anymore.
it, and that will end the game.
Catches the Dora right there.
Plus 54 for Fujii. Putting her into second place overall and not very far away from first place. Of course, you only have to get second place. Second place for Maruyama, maintaining her first place overall score. Third place for Nakano with minus 27.4. Oh. The numbers were a little bit off there as well. So those are the positions the players will go into the fourth game with, or into the third game with. We won't be able to see the third game, but we will have the results for you in tomorrow's stream with all the players who advanced to the semifinals. And instead, we have a couple of new professional players coming to commentate on the third game, which is going to be super exciting because two players from that game will advance. They'll have their scores going into the game that they'll have to calculate to see what they need to get into second place to make it in the semifinals. So you'll actually have a result on the screen after the third game. Very exciting stuff. So welcome, Dave and Corak.
All right, pleasure to be here as always.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so this is our third game. This is last chance to make top two in advance.
Yep, all the games, today's third game and 3 games tomorrow will all be third games, and the top 2 players overall from those tables will advance to the semifinals, which we will stream on Saturday.
So tons
So
of
last
situational play.
Yeah.
Just everyone has to deal with those conditions, and you don't really worry that much about the first game most of the time. The second game, okay, we need to set ourselves up, and then you get that third game. And what often happens is one team runs away, and one player or even 2 players get in deep trouble. With 2 people advancing, the dynamics are a little different.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see what happens as game conditions shift around and what people really need to do if they're looking to lock in that win.
Alrighty, with that, let's go ahead and check the player profiles.
Okay, so it looks like our first dealer is Tomomi Okubo from JPML, playing for Hachioji Keijo team. South seat, Ryo Tojo, also from JPML, playing for IQ. In our west seat, Arisa Hariake from NPM, playing for ML Stadium, and in the north seat, Aoi Mizutani, playing for part of NPM, playing for Fusion.
Two. Of course, 2 is the big number. 2 teams will advance. And of course, you get all the formalities here.
Team spirit there, folks in their jerseys. It's always interesting when you have people from the same pro org because they might be a little more familiar with how other folks play. So we have 2 people, each pair kind of might know each other a little better than they know the other folks at the table.
Well, yes, it can lead 2 different ways. Either A, you generally know what they're trying to do, or B, and play along with it, or B, you generally know what they're trying to do and you're actively sabotaging it.
Oof.
But we take a look at these hands. A couple mediocre. This has an East pair. Other than that, it just looks relatively cheap. This feels like a call and go, not too much. Here I have a Haku pair, couple loose dragon. I mean, you dream Daisongen, but I think it looks like Honetsu most likely. This looks like a Pinfu type hand. The 4, now an Onkon potentially of the 4s. Won't make the call immediately. Speaking of calls, there's the Haku, and it definitely looks like Honetsu. 9 pin doesn't really do anything. You get thrown back. 1 soak, 2 soak rather, completes the 2, 3, 4, and there's our con. This is an
Off to the races very fast.
Oh, there's our East. Not called.
Not grabbed.
Figures the rest of the hand is so bad it's not really worth it yet.
Yeah, I think that mentality there's going to be to wait till the right time to make the lunge with that beast.
Or until the second one comes out. Then you have to really make your decision. Am I just folding and taking my 2 safe tiles, or am I actually going to fight this? Ooh, interesting draw that 1 pin. You can go Itsu. This kind of hedges both the Itsu and even a Chanta route.
I feel like, ooh.
Another 4, extend the shape in Pinzu. Oh, well, that's just Tempai.
And reach.
Right, this
Straight
is
up.
Riichi with the con.
Yeah, once a con's on the table, it's well, and a fold. At least the beginning of a fold.
I
Or
am glad I did not call that East. Thank you very much.
a fold like that might turn into, the hand might come back to it, but for the moment, I think we're just going to be out of it. We're chilling.
Second Dora, this is definitely an incentive to start pushing. The problem is you have that north that's stuck in the hand, and it's just really hard to come out.
Yeah. Well, here's
Speaking
a Dora
of
here.
Dora
Which is
that are
awkward.
very unwanted, maybe 1-mon. Because everything in this hand is obnoxious. When I
Yeah.
don't know what to do, I go, let's see if there's Danyao. And you can see it in this hand. It's a mess. Instead, it goes with a 1-chance 3-pin. And of course, then the 6 comes out. You're like, why did I have to push that? All the rest of the 3-pin now stuck in that hand. The 2-pin not safe just yet. We're going to see some 3s coming out fairly soon. Oh, well,
Yeah,
now I
that's
definitely
6.
want to go 1-1.
Yeah, the 6 connects
Yeah, there
quite
it
nicely and
goes.
gives you a lot of other pair opportunities. 4, 4, 4, 5, 6 can be paired up.
Ishanten, I believe, for Tanyao with 1 Dora.
Connection on the door with a few safe tiles around it there.
3-0. Well, there's your Tempai. Do you just
There
slam
it
it?
is.
There it is. Riichi, Tanyao, Dora 1, waiting on 7-mon.
It's an overlapping weight here.
But we see 2 of those 7s, and those are not likely to come out.
No, it's pretty much a contest for self-draw at this point, assuming that everyone else bails, which they seem to be taking a step back.
Alpha miss. No Ipatsumo. Chu not going to help. Does, of course, clear it.
See if these 7-mon fall.
Ugh. This is always a
Yeah.
weird situation. You start folding to someone with an early Riichi, and then someone else gets there, and your plan is, wait, what's my plan?
Here's another hand that can be worked around to wait. No, we are
Well, the
not
problem with
dealing
this
with
is
it.
you're going to have to jam the door at some point, and just says, no,
Yeah.
not worth it. So you
Yeah,
see a little
it's-
hesitation. That felt really bad, but it clears.
It's so unfortunate when you get a tile just stuck in your hand like that, where it's like, I cannot. Ooh.
Well, you see 3-3 pin. The 1-2 doesn't look terrible here. Might also go with the Hatsu pair, and does.
Hot pair.
There's the Dora. Well, now it's clear.
Yeah, now we know. Now we know our Dora is safe, so that gives a whole new world of life to this hand.
Oh,
we'll
well.
just draw another
Pair it
one.
up and take your Ishanten.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
And that's a Riichi Dora 4. And that's one where you draw that 4 or 4. Can I con this? No.
No changing shapes.
Oh,
And
well,
here
there's
is
just your
the
Tempai. You
Tempai.
have to just slam this. This
What are we
is
thinking?
Riichi Pin. No.
No.
Wow. Riichi Pinfu Dora 4?
They must have had some very strong feelings.
There's the sumo. Well, saved 1,000 off it anyway. At least 1 Ura here with the Tuso.
Sumo Dora.
Of course, you have all that extra foo from the cons. This is going to be an expensive hand.
Yeah. See, that's 52, maybe a little more. It looks like there's a note being given of some sort.
Yeah, 50 foo there.
Ah, okay, they're correcting the exchange.
Gets reach sticks and nice little 6,400.
Yeah,
And Kojo will be dealer here. And you look at these scores, and I feel this is really the only reason you didn't see that Riichi is You have two teams that are in great position and two teams that are desperate.
Hmm.
So as long as Tojo and Harikai can just shut everything down, they're happy to just pass the rounds.
Right. There's not, they don't actually need the points as much as it breaks my heart to leave points on the table. A risk doesn't help if it doesn't pay off. Basically, if you're going to lose.
Yeah. At the same time, that's 12,000 good weight against two Riichis. And the Tuso didn't look that bad.
Yeah,
It hurts. It hurts to see it.
It hurts to see it, but in a way, it's like a testament to the strength of will of the player involved. The fact that you can
Yes.
just be like, no, I have my plan and I'm doing it.
5-pin really doesn't do much. I mean, for this 789 Sanjuku, this looks like 234 Sanjuku, potentially with a Dora. Of course, 3-mon being Dora. Similarly, Pinfu type hand, but kind of awkward. 9-so Parap isn't great. It almost feels Chitoi now. 3-so fills the Penchun, still a long way to go. The 9 gives her up for Itsu, thrown back though. Wants the 234 Sanjuku. 5. We'll go ahead and cut this shape down, holding the
679.
1-so for a little bit extra. You lose some efficiency doing that, but I guess it's a little safer. I think the idea is just hide the potential 7 weight later.
Hmm.
6 extends this to the 5, 6, 7, 8, so that shape's very nice, but still a couple ugly ones in that hand. East isn't going to do anything here. 4-mon. Well, now you have the potential 4, 4, 4, 5. The problem is you already have enough pairs in this hand, so it just cuts the 5.
Just get rid
And
of
I
it. Just
feel
cut
the
it.
idea here is if you do draw the 3, you just say, I don't want this shape, and you cut the 4 and just go Chitoi.
Hmm. That would make sense. Oh, we're getting even more Chitoi-ish here.
Yes, Ishan 10 for Chitoi. Kind of an awkward 4-pin, 2-pin as the extra tiles. You do have that 4 Onko.
2, 3,
Moves towards
4.
the 2, 3, 4. 5-so pair up. Not ideal. I imagine the 1-so could get rid of the 1-mon here. I kind of like going 1-mon and 1-mon just because I don't want them sitting around in the hand where the 3-mon is the Dora.
Swapping that 4-pin for the 9-mon to make Chitoi a little bit more crafty.
A bit of a backfire on the 3, but again, plan A was just go for the hand as it
6,
was.
6.
The 6 fills in nicely. 2-so doesn't do anything. She's going to get thrown back. 5 fills in
5,
perfectly.
6, 7
This is now
fill.
super wide Shanten. Oh no, look at
Oh,
that
yeah,
pod. That's just tragedy.
Always rough. It's always rough.
Ooh, West. No, Furry 10 can't really use it, but it's a good save tile potentially later. Well, that is a Tempai.
It's a
I mean, the
Tempai, but
9
it's
pin
not
is
an
a
amazing
disgusting weight. When you look at that 8, waiting on the 9 there is just filthy. I would have taken that.
And here's a Tempai as well.
Well, this one's much better. It's just
And we take.
straightforward.
Yeah,
Riichi
classic
no
two-sided
Mi.
weight. Oh, here's our Dora. So now we might be thinking about 7 pairs.
And yeah, that was exactly the situation I was talking about. Is at that point you just say, this is what the hand is. And then, again, this is something I said earlier. You don't want those 1-mon sitting around in a hand like this, because someone could reach. And you look at this pond, it's turn 11. But at the same time, you also have to jam something. This would be the, no, folds out.
Folding out. Hmm.
And there's the Sean, not it. Still staying Ishanten.
Oh.
There's that 9. And folds away.
Hesitation on that 6-9 line.
Oh, the backfire. The curse of Chitoi.
Oh, the classic Chitoi problem. 2, 3, 4,
Well,
6, 7,
that 8
8.
doesn't actually help much because you have the 9 in the pond. So that shape doesn't do a whole lot here. The plan is obviously 5, 6, 7 Sanjuku, and if you get a Manzu, take it. But now it's just ugly and throws the safe 5 here. Doesn't even want to throw the 8.
Yeah, this hand, unfortunately, is just being entirely folded.
5. Well, that's
5.
not it. 5 doesn't look too bad. You've already seen the 2 clear. You've seen the 8 clear. The 5, I'd just throw it. Your concern here is the 4
Oof.
Mon. You're going to have to shove for Tempai. Instead, throws into the Riichi. It is just Riichi no Mi.
And it's just reach.
It's one where you wait, is the north and the east or the east and the north? No, Nora.
Alas. Well, again, given that Harikai already has such a commanding lead in the overall match, small hand, quick win, move it on.
Yeah, this is a great result. Again, Tojo and Harikai should just be, they want cheap, fast hands. No messing around. Ideally, you get to South 4, and then Mizutani has to just fight for everything, and Okubo goes to a situation where he just has to build big and basically out of the hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got
That
8.
doesn't look like enough to me. Yeah, it's a few short. And
No.
with 2 Dora, you don't get cute.
Yeah, the door really wipe away any even like fantasy.
Do we
of going that
really
way.
want to get tempted? Do we really want to get tempted? The answer is yeah, but not with 2 Dora.
Yeah.
You go with the 1 pin or the 1 Mon. I like the 1 pin as well. Haku, well, this is just pull and go. You don't have to think too hard
Nice.
about the rest of this hand.
Yeah.
Another 3, so 3, 3, 3, 4 now.
3.
Pei isn't going to do anything. Gonna get thrown back. 6 Mon extends the Mazu shapes. 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 pin doesn't do anything immediately. It does give you a shifting to from 5, 6, 7 Sanjuku routes, but doesn't really need it. 8, so pair up moves
Pairs
the
up.
hand forward, but you don't really want that shape because you wanted to extend the 3, 3, 3, 4 with a 5 because it's Dora. 3 Mon will keep the floater here. Not really thrilled with the Penchon 1, 2, but we'll hold that along with the 6. 9 pair up. Ugh. Yuck. I feel West is the normal cut, but at the same time, I don't hate just Sumagiri. Hold the safe tile and say I want to go Tanya. Give me an excuse too.
Hmm. All right, we're still waiting for our calls to come in here.
7 so pair up. I mean, it moves the hand forward, but again, that's the same shape. It wants a Dora. You're not thrilled having to potentially cut the 6 later.
1 drop the 6.
5, okay, that's an improvement.
5, 6 is a much better shape.
Still has a penchant, but may end up cutting altogether. Oh, well, now you can start dreaming of Sonanko. It's kind of awkward, but it is there. 2, 3, 4.
3,
Now
4.
Ishanten. Cuts the East. Hold the 1 for now. Speaking of East.
Cut.
And speaking of the 1.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they're both clear now.
Okay, we got
This
6,
should
7.
just be 9, 9. I'm going Tanya and not even thinking very hard about it. That is the play here. Another 6. Ugh. Could have cut the 1 so to take a wider shape, but rejected it.
There's another pair.
Maybe pair up. Yeah, it goes back to the 6, 7. Is that a 2? Okay, it's a 2. Doesn't really do anything. It is a safe tile to sit on for a while, and I think that's the reason it's being held. It is technically Dorasuji, but you see so many of the 3s, and you've seen middle discards in Sozu from everyone. The 2 doesn't actually feel that bad.
Hold the 5 pin. Chun comes up. And
But that's a much
interesting.
better safe tile.
Yeah, we hold on to that Chun.
Well, I say that, and yet I don't really see any on the table. It feels much less safe than I thought it was. Well, that is Ishanten. Makes his hand pretty
7, 8,
cheap.
9.
And there is our call. Just wants to go Tanya with this. Figures this hand is not good defending, so maybe we could just shut this down, get the 1 Han and move on. Oh, a
Oh, wow.
third Dora. This should just be 1, 2. Cuts the 2 first.
All the
5's
Dora.
useless. Val's also useless. Well, there's one of those Chun. We were wondering. 4, well, that upgrades the shape nicely. You just cut the 1 here.
Cut the 1, keep the 3, 4.
And the plan for the hand would just call the Haku, but haven't seen any of them. They're both on the wall still.
Yeah, it's always interesting with those hands. You think you're going to grab something real fast, and you spend the whole hand just waiting for the thing. You're
Well,
like,
the
oh, that
other
comes
part
out.
is you figure at this point someone else has the other pair.
Yeah.
And I've been in the situation that I draw the third and just have to sit there and stare at my hand for a while. But we
Let it
have
stand
our
by.
Riichi. That is Riichi Nomi 3/6 mon. Yeah, just gonna fold out. The Ishan 10 we have to push. The 9 isn't ideal, and you have reasonable tiles in the Pinzu here. Well, that's
This is Tenpai as well.
basically an easy slam as you're ever going to see. Riichi Dora 3 no Yaku.
Oh no.
Riichi Ipatsu Dora 3. No aura, but there will be a Mangon, so nice little pickup there. Okubo needed that. That's the first of what needs to be many.
Oh.
No, that's Mizutani. My
Mizutani,
mistake.
sorry. That pulls Mizutani up into second place. So 31.
Still needs to be the first of many, and
Yeah.
much harder distance here for Mizutani, who not only has to be first, but has to really distribute the points very effectively and run up the score. It's a long way here.
Yeah, it's a big climb. If that's still...
Again, it's great news for Harikai and Tojo, because if they can go 3-4 and still advance, they'll be thrilled.
And
Will be
already in
difficult, of
East
course, and
4.
Okubo has a long way to come back now. But we take a look at these hands. This looks like a Pinfu type hand. Maybe 1-1 here. Can also go 2-so. I like the 1-1. The 2-so here does give you the 3-4-5 Sanshigu, which is the idea. You can use the 1 as the pair with it. But I see Tanyao, I go Tanyao. This looks like a Pinfu hand, nothing fancy. 9-so's going to do much. This is a bad Pinfu hand. Needs the 3-mon and the 7-pin really badly.
2, 3, 4 fills.
I mean, it advances, but man, I'd really like to have cut that 1 pin. This is a super wide Ishan 10, though. It's just going to be cheap.
Start up our Hatsus. Here's
Speaking
the third.
of
Do we grab
Hatsu,
it?
not
Nope.
taken. 8 goes back. Of course, you see the 9 draw the 8. That's how it works. Ew! Ew!
Yeah, this is so bad. All right, we'll
Yeah,
cut the
I like
1.
the 1 here. It makes a significantly less wide Ishan 10, but there's just so much more value potential here. Fremon, and can't kind of hold it as an Ipeco option. Yeah, I definitely like holding that 3.
5.
You
Okay,
can
we'll
accept
create
the
9.
door at this point. You accept a 2 or a 4 for Ipeco, and the 3-3-5-5 isn't that bad. Because ideally, you end up cutting one of those pairs you connect in Manzu. Haku pair
Haku
up.
pairs up. Interesting.
Ugh.
There's already one out on the table, though.
Yeah, it's bad. That's the problem. Ooh, that's an interesting tile. You've already got the 4, though, so I'd throw it back. And yeah, there it
Get
goes.
rid of it, yeah. That Haku pair can just become safety later. If there's already one out on the table, you now know that no one's really waiting to finish it.
Well, that's the last Hatsu. It is also passed. Oh, no, it's not. Just
Oh,
took a
it's
while on it. Ishanten. Pair up with 2 doesn't really do much here. Yeah, it goes in Karigiri. I'm going to try and make this look like a 2-2-2 cut. East isn't going to do anything. 9-mon needs the 8, but that's not an 8. Just going to hold on to this 3. It's one of those tiles you don't want sitting around, but if you connect to it, the hand just gets so much better.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dora, back it goes. This hand isn't going to use it. 7-pin. 5-6-7 Sanshigo route. Actually, a pretty big improvement. Draw a tune, cut a tune, draw another tune, cut another tune. There's another one. Oh, and there's our, look at that pawn with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Sozu. That feels like my pawns.
4, 5, 6 finishes up.
We'll take the Ishunten.
Ishunten. A third
There's the
Haku.
third
Okay.
Haku, and now you're thinking, wait, why did I cut that Dora?
Yeah. Well, that's
But
great
at
shape
this
to have
point,
in
the
your hand.
hand's just over. You've decided to fold. You probably just need to deal with it at this point. That hand is so bad. You see the shift here to wait on the Suji 8. Figures it's better than a 6. 4, 6, 8. Goes and cuts the 2 here. Stefan, no.
Pair up. No.
Again, getting all those upper Monzu except the ones that are needed.
6, 7, 8 finishes up. We're gonna get rid of that south pair. Ooh.
Oh, well, there's your Riichi. Riichi, Tanya,
Riichi.
5, 8. Do you want to push this? I don't think the 2 looks that bad. It doesn't feel great with the 1 and the 7, but I'd be much more worried about a 3, 6. There is the 8. Is that Tempai on 1, 4?
3, 4, 5, but we're not gonna take this. We're not gonna take this advancement.
Oh, the wrong
Oh,
one. The backfire.
Woof.
And everything looks awful now and just gets out of there. Yeah, that is.
It is 10-5, but now we have 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. It's
I'd
Tanya
slam the
on
9
the
here.
4.
Yeah, I'd slam this. Again, this may also depend on where you are in the standings as to whether this is worthwhile. No, just folds out.
We're not even gonna hesitate. We're not gonna entertain it. No, hesitate a little, but
Lemon. Yeah. Not the Dora. Is something that always gets people on these broadcasts is that is the actual Dora, not the indicator they put up on the screen. Just wait on that 5, 8. Of course, we see 2 of those 8s in this hand. One is the Dora indicator. And this is the last 8. So 2 5s. 3 5s. I guess there's what, 1 5 left on the wall then? One already cleared. I just throw it. Josen gets rid of the 6 now, though. That is Ishanten.
but if we're folding, it's time for just Haku. Yep, it's Haku.
Yeah,
Haku,
there
Haku
it
time.
goes.
We're done. We're done.
Well, good. And she and say thanks. I'll take Tempai.
Okay. All right.
There's a 7, and that's one where you. Ooh, I'm Ishanten now. We'll have another draw, so we'll not immediately give up on this. Oh, and there's the Dora. So
There's the
that's
Dora.
into
Nope,
that.
nope,
If you had
nope,
any
nope, nope.
questions, they're gone. And again, just keeps drawing upper. Oh, well, that's the
Ooh.
Dora, but shoves it.
Yeah.
But yes, we just have the 2 players Tempai.
10-2. No 10, 1500 gets exchanged back and forth.
More importantly, Mizutani gets a repeat. And Mizutani has such a long way to go here. You have to be fighting your dealer turn to the death.
Oh yeah.
Even the first one.
What is it, like 80? The distance is 80.7 for Mizutani.
And this is
total.
in first place. The yellow scores up there are the if the game were to end here.
Right, which yeah, Mizutani would have to end this game with like 120,000 total points, I think.
Something
really
along
make
those
it.
lines. The easier
Well-
route is hope that Okubo makes it come back into second place, which then the Uma will make it not quite as bad, but still really rough.
Yeah, it's not quite that rough though. I'm calculating poorly because any points Mizutani gain, other people lose.
Right.
So it's more like a 40 or 50,000. So really still would have to end with like 80,000 points
80,
total.
yeah, 80 would be my target. Is about what I'd be looking at, so 80, 85 range.
Yeah.
But that's a very nice hand there. This is an okay one, but not great. Ketapinfuish, you have some overlap. Too many pairs, though, has 4 of them. We'll kind of hedge the Chitoi. This wants to be Honetsu. Of course, I always feel awkward about Honetsu in Akanashi in the offsuit.
Hmm.
It's like, yeah, if we can get 3,900, it's great, but otherwise,
Okubo grabs those north.
another 5 as soon as they shape beautiful shape in Sozu now. 4, 5, 5, 5. 4, so not going to do anything. And that pawn definitely screaming Pinzu Honetsu.
See, we have a Haku sitting here. What are we considering?
Well, let's just say, do I want our safe tile? I'd cut the 6 here. Yeah, that's the
Hmm.
play. Because you don't need another pair. Speaking of too many pairs, isn't that one of the most disgusting shapes? The 77789.
Specifically, yeah, when it's jammed at the end with the 789 like that, it's so uncomfortable.
7 so not going to do anything. Just has the overlap with the 4. Oh no! This could have actually been a Chitoi route. Maybe Chitoi Tanya. Another pair up here with the 4. Wants to go with the Sanjuku, but it's really hard. Just throws the 4 back.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yuck. I believe we are reaching Toitsuba. Everyone is pairing up.
There goes the Haku.
5,
5,
great fill
6.
there. Now Ishan 10. Still not too much value, but you'd still take it. East doesn't do anything. H2 doesn't do anything. 5 pin doesn't do anything. It's a decent float. We already cut the 3, so it's not really worth holding on to. The 6 on the other hand is a great draw. Now Ishan 10 really wants to turn this to a 4-5 Sanshoku. Ooh, cuts the 2. That is, I really want Sanshoku.
Yeah, and
Because
we
it
were
gives up
holding that
the
Haku.
3-pin draw and wants the Haku for safety. Well, that's just down
789.
by 3 so and south.
Tricky weight for Tojo.
Is Riichi Nomi, and we're going to see a Chi here. Goes in, breaks the Apatsu. It is Tempai 147. Cannot win on the 1, though.
That 7's been
And
kind
we
of
see the
consumed.
7s. Good luck with that.
And here...
3
Yeah,
takes some hesitation, but that was just to remember to turn it to the side.
I was going to say, it's not a new reach, it's the existing reach.
Chuso pair up.
Oh.
This is Chitoi Ishan.
Which means a 7 could come... Oh, wow!
It does, and that's going to deal in. Just one Han says, get me out of here.
Yeah, we're just moving this game right along, shutting down anyone's chances. And already in the south round. As Mizutani dealing in, but staying in first place.
Yeah, but again,
So-
first isn't going to cut it here. It needs to be a big first. You really need Okubo to get to second.
Yeah.
If you're Mizutani,
Not Natsumi.
unironically, you want Okubo to buy Monsubo here. And that is a very good starting hand. A few too many pairs, but a potential Riichi, Dora, maybe Tanyao, maybe Sonanko. Pinfu type hand here, nothing fancy. Pinfu type hand here, a couple pairs. He needs a 3-mon. 3, 3, 4, 4.
Very
This also
pairy.
has 4 pairs. So a lot of hands in this situation that aren't terrible, but none of them are good.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any like breakout exciting hands yet.
What's the phrase? Soon TM. That's what I always tell myself as I'm still 3 Shanten on turn 11.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. We know it.
Seven so possible 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku.
5, 6,
7
7.
so fills in there as well. The 4. Ooh, this is an awkward shape. Might even go 1-1. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Is it 2-2, 4, 5, 7, 7? And you know what that means? It's Tanyao.
It's a good 3 to fill in that 2, 3, 4.
You don't have to cut the 4 immediately, though, because you can still accept the 1 or the 4 here using the pair. 5. Ew.
2, 4,
This
5,
is just
7.
Kanchan hell.
Yeah. I always hate those shapes like that, where it's like it's 2 kanchans or a 2-sided, and you're always going to make the wrong decision.
Oh, well, there you go. Now you're
There's a
just
1, 2, 3.
Ishunten. Super wide. 7 pair up. Another pair,
Oof.
but I don't think you take it. Yes, cuts the 2. Your alternative is cutting the north here. Oh, well, what
Another
about
Anko.
Sananko Ishunten or even Suanko? Cuts the 2 here.
Pretty wide Ishanten. That is not bad.
2 so's going to do anything. Gets thrown back. 7 pin. Well, there's an Anko. Now Ishunten. I think no, that's 2 Shunten. It's one of those that has too many blocks. You don't expect it to this late though. Well, more pairs.
Another pair, but we're not taking it. We're not going to have it.
Ooh, this is an interesting draw.
It's a Conco.
If you're Mizutani, you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I guess so. Might as well see if we can add some excitement to this game. What did we flip? Our new Dora is it north? Our new Dora is north.
Bleh.
Everyone's just oncoing.
Well, that's Tempai, but it's no, it's not Tempai. That's a 3, 4, 5, 7. 2. That is a workable draw. It does kind of cheapen the hand though. But with the con, I guess you have the value as your foo. South worthless here. Of course, we are in the south round now, so you figure it might get pawned. Does not. Pay.
7. What do we? Oh, pays.
Nope,
We can't
throws it
get rid of
back.
our pays.
Oh, yeah, the pays Dora now.
Yeah, once upon a time.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's our 1, 2, 3 in the pond.
7, 8.
And I have a perfect Ishunten. Still not Tempai. Another pair. It was Chitoy.
No more pairs. Oh my,
That's
okay.
Sananko Tempai. I mean, you just cut the 2. I would Dama. I don't see really a reason to Riichi. You get the extra value from the con.
There's the con. Yeah, the con and the extra Dora is the only value.
Yeah, and we'll Dama here. You can accept the Dora, but of course, what you really want is Suanko.
Yeah, you can get that big upgrade, and getting that big upgrade would be incredible.
Switch from the 5 to the 6. Not going to do anything. Shaw's going to do anything. Hatsu isn't going to do
It's
anything.
not going to do anything.
And Chun's not going to do anything. Okay,
Nope.
well, that's always fun. You're always at the edge of your seat because you know everyone's close, like this, but that
Here
doesn't get
is
Tempai.
an Ishanta.
There goes the
The
north.
Dora. Not feeling a need for it, I guess.
Well, it's one of those that you don't
Here's
necessarily
also
expect
a
to win the
Tempai.
hand. There is Tempai with a Dora, Riichi Dora 1. This is
And
also
this is
Tempai,
also a
but much
Tempai.
uglier.
And that 7 deals in, so we back off, apparently.
Cuts the
I mean,
1.
Not that anyone knows, but
Well, there goes the other Dora.
there goes the other. This is back to Ishanten, though.
Oh, there's
wow.
Tempai for Suanko.
Oh, wow,
That's an
and
easy
we reach
slam.
it. We reach it.
You got to make something happen. Why not? There's the 6. Riichi Apatsu, Sananko, Toy.
2, 3,
3
4,
Aura.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Huge.
Well, that's why you're Riichi.
A huge win for Mizutani.
Yeah, but it's not off the person
Yeah.
Mizutani wanted to hit. Still, you're not
Coming
going to
from
turn that many
Okubo.
points down.
Which is a tough one, but this gets her to 30. Man,
Minus
a good ways.
35 if the game were to end here, and actually into third place now, but still a long way to go. Needs Tojo to drop to third at absolute minimum.
Yeah, getting 30,000 points out of Tojo is the best thing to happen here if possible.
Now, Mizutani does have the advantage that will be last dealer and can then run
Mm.
it up there ideally. But something we've seen before is there is no way to just formally declare the game has ended. No Agariyame, no optional Agariyame. You keep playing it out.
Man, Tojo has what looks like it could become a pretty big flush, but it's got some distance to go.
Doesn't get the 2-pin, doesn't believe the 1-2-3 Sunshoku. This should just be Chun.
Probably,
And does
yeah,
get
just
there.
move forward in the traditional way.
Yeah, nothing fancy. 7-pin pair could go Tanyao. 4 show connects to the 5. And, well, there's the Chun. 1 already came out. 2 had already come out now, so pretty useless. Forks into the Sozu shape. 2, 4, 4, 5, 7, 8. 3 connection actually with the 4, 5. Still a bunch of honors to get rid of. 8 so is a nice fill. Also, now you could go Chanta potentially with Inipeko.
See, North's gonna come out.
9 show connects with the 8, but still a long way to go.
Collecting terminals and honors over there?
Well, I mean, if you can get 13 of them, I'm all for it, but seems like a little much.
We're going for Chitoi over here, it looks like.
6-pin just keeps moving it towards the Tanya. 2 Montpera, but it's just going for the flush.
All right, looks like taking this as an opportunity to dump the 5.
East gets cut. Or so Anko can just cut the 2 or the 5 here, most likely. Really wants to hold this 2, though, for the Sanjaku, so I might even go 5 first.
Hmm.
And, of course, 2 being Dora, not going to hurt. Well, okay,
Right.
now it's just flush time. I'm not even considering the rest of this hand. Everything's just gone. I ain't sure we'd love the Peiko, but at the same time.
It's got a lot of great material.
Blech.
Ugh. Yeah, no one wants these shapes.
I think he's throw it back.
Yep.
Does eventually. Says, that is not the tile I wanted, so we're just going to get rid of it. And that 5 feels like a fold.
Poor Okubo. Okubo is so far down. Like, there's really... Going for the Kokushi is really one of their only options at this point.
5, well, that's a nice little
5?
upgrade, but the hand's still really cheap. Might even go
Yeah.
7-8 here.
Yeah, you might want to get rid of that shape at this point.
I'd cut 7-pin, but I'm tempted by 7-8. Because I'm never just taking the Dora cut for Tempai, and yeah. That doesn't commit you to the hand as it is, but it keeps the most routes open.
I'm realizing this.
Another pair up.
Another
That's
pair
now
up.
Chitoi Ishan.
Flush
Well,
Ishan.
that's
Okay.
Tempai, but I'm always cutting 7-8 here. I'm not even thinking about this very hard.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that Tempai?
No.
The only thing I can
headless,
imagine happening,
but yeah, this is just always 7-8 for me.
I could see throwing the 6, 7 to just be like I'm locking in this 2, 3, 4 with a 2-sided way to keep him. It's no
But you
good.
don't lose anything. You can shift down to it anyway.
Yeah.
7-8's useless in this. Wow.
We're taking the Ishan 10.
Feels the 2's just so dead it's not worth holding. And we see a bunch of 2's out and a 5, so it's not ideal. But at the same time, there's just so much value potential.
All right.
Being a
you got-
value potential, doesn't even get tempted by the Suanko route. And this hand
Oh,
just
interesting.
continuing to fold. There's going to be the Chi. That is Tempai, but with no Yaku. You don't get credit for that in
Wow, we
Keiko
really-
when it's open like that.
I'm willing to bet the plan is for a full flush. The plan is just call out the rest of these.
Yeah, there are enough
tiles.
draws left, it seems reasonable.
Or
And
just
yeah,
draw
that's
them.
the
Just draw
perfect
them.
draw.
Yeah. Still technically Tempai, but not good enough. But a full flush door 1 is Hanemon, which is a pretty good hand to win if you can
You're
pull
not
it
going to
off.
turn down Hanemon at this point. Well, there's an Ipeiko.
Oh,
if
how
you've got
interesting.
The 6-7, and we'll do so. And there's the 5. We'll go ahead and take it, and this is what, a 5-8? Or is it a
Yes.
5-8? Yeah, 5-8. It's like, can you also get the 9 in there? No.
And now this hand has a lot of scary tiles in it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great to go Honitsu in a suit, and then the person that's closer already has. Oh, this also does win on 7.
Yes. And
'Cause
I
that
believe
weird
it's Itsu.
Tenshon
Is it
shape.
Itsu on 7? No, the 4 is right. It didn't have a 4 in there. None of them.
The 5-7-8 shape.
A pretty cool weight, but everyone is very aware of the fact that this is so flush. Oh,
Oh, or you can just
However-
deal into it.
Okubo
I mean,
has to
you
try
take that.
something.
Nice little 12,000 pickup there. Or wait, is this dealer? This is dealer.
More than that, 18,000 pickup there.
Yes, it's going to jump all the way to first place off of that.
This
is when you say Okubo is pretty much done.
Yep. It's South 2. There's nowhere near enough time to make all that up. And Mizutani's now in a really bad position as well because Tojo is further ahead in first place.
And we do see, of course, the big gap here. Mizutani lost a bunch of points. It's not because anything necessarily happened. It's just Tojo got to first place. And, of course, with the Oka, in addition to the 20 Uma as opposed to the 10, that is a huge boost.
Yeah, but it's a huge boost being held on to by only 600 points.
Yes, there's a gap of what, 35 if you
4
can ever
pairs.
overcome it, but it just the game feels pretty over here. Mizutani just has to go on a monster dealer run.
Yeah, it's never, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I always find that like South 3rd, South 4th with a dealer who really needs to make something happen can be harder to close out than you might think.
It can, but the issue here is there to be 2 people who are thrilled to close out with hitting. What ends up happening a lot of the time is everyone at the table except one person has really awkward win conditions, and that's when dealer can repeat a whole bunch.
Hmm.
And it's just one person. They can't get hands to shut down that final dealer turn. That's when they get in trouble. But that doesn't really happen here because we have a top 2 advanced situation.
That's true. That's true. And if you do have 2 people, I feel like a lot of times the logic on the table is dictated by how many people are playing in a certain way. And if you have 2 people rushing, but this.
Well, I don't want to cut you off. We have Suanko
Yeah.
Ishan 10.
Yeah, our dealer here is in a wonderful spot. Let's see.
6-pin pair up. Could just be Tanya. I'd probably cut the Haku. There it goes. Pei is going to do anything. Of course, I already threw in earlier, so it's not that useful. And the question here is how much do we value the 5? Because, of course, if you do end up drawing the 3, you have potential Suanko, but there's nope, we're getting rid of it. It's Suanko or bust.
We're just doing it. We're just doing it.
Another pair up here. This is closer to Chitoi. That is Ishan 10 for Chitoi.
Suanko is so unnecessary at this point.
Yes, but at the same time, you are on the TV table, so if you're going to get one, this is the time to hit it.
I'm not passing it, that's for sure. Oh, this is also a very interesting hand.
I get Chun.
Do we think, or do we want to?
No, it wants to hold the Chitoi.
And that 5, 6, 7 Ipeco option. Okay.
Well, he Pico there, lower Monzu potentially.
Yeah, two's a great pickup for that.
The problem is with this 1-4 is you see one of them out already on each of them.
Oh, here's another
Dora
Dora.
goes really hard. Each jumped in here.
Yep, yep. Ugh.
Shaw isn't it, so gonna get thrown back. There's the pawn.
It gets called.
Mizutani says, I don't really want to do this, but I also have to shut down your dealer turret after what you just did.
True, there must be vengeance. Yep, the 9 comes out.
There's another 9, and we'll switch it out for the 6. And 6 back in the pawn. You see that 5, 6, 7 in the pawn. There's going to be a call. This is no Ishunten with 2 Dora. This is Rion Peiko Ishunten.
Yeah. Round Pico's showing up a bunch today.
There's a Dora,
4
and
Dora.
your plan for Suanko is a little tougher when that happens.
Yeah, we now
But
have
if you
very.
get Senpai, I think you just slam it anyway.
You kind of have to. I think the mentality here is I'm not throwing it unless I got
Unless
the
I
value
get
coming
there.
out. Yeah. Is this cool? I feel like this just isn't cool.
Yeah, I think you should throw
Yeah.
it back. You know, it's cool. Rion Peiko.
Yeah.
And that's a fold. Says, out, Dora. We gave you 1 draw, and then you told me no.
Oh
That is
no.
listening to the wall.
Oh my heart. I'm not gonna say that's a bad move, but oof. There goes 1.
1 so isn't used. Yeah, just giving up at this point. 9 pins a miss.
5 pin goes right out.
Now, this is one of those situations where if I'm Tojo, I would absolutely declare no 10 even if I got to Tenpai.
Mm. It's a third 7, so what do we think about that?
Clearly just doesn't like these Chun. We'll go ahead and throw the 7 back. Keeps the Ishunten. Wider Ishunten here now. 6 isn't a great tile, but kind of sheepishly tosses it back in. I think it's just 999. Instead goes and throws the 8. 1 so doesn't do anything.
Bounces.
There's
Chun's not needed.
Chun. Doesn't get called.
No, our Chun pair is probably going to be thrown for safety. And now we're
Yeah,
starting
there's
with
the
999.
999.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this should just be Chun. Wanted to hedge the Chi Toy as long as possible, but it's just not coming.
That's unfortunate. Oh
1 pin.
no!
There was your Suanko Tenpai.
That's a little
And
sad.
there is
There's a
Tenpai waiting
as
on
well.
3 so, and they're going to see a call here to try and get K10 payments out of this.
Mizutani is not willing to just let it go. Oh Lord, I'm so sad about this Suanko now. And here are the Hatsus that were such a concern.
Yes, Aaron's like, oh, well, okay, I guess we know now. And there's another Chun.
And that 7 pin would have been the third. Oh, it was possible, but it didn't happen. But it wasn't needed. Is the thing here? Playing smarter and not rushing headfirst into points you don't need to grab.
Yes, and so we do move to South 3 here. Mizutani jumps back into first place.
Total
So we
gets
see the
closer.
scores close immensely like that, but now instead of it being 150, it's what, 80? Still a long way to go.
Yeah. 70. Yeah, it's like 82. 82 is the total.
Again, similar situation. Tojo and Harikai just want to end this hand.
Yeah.
Saikai actually doesn't want to win this situation. You just want things to end.
Just chill out. Yeah, chill out, call no 10. Be happy.
Well, what about 3 Dora?
That's not part of the plan. 6,
So we
7,
have
8.
Kinfu hand, 6, 7, 8 Sonic potentially. And yeah, here are those 3 Dora. Oh, the 9's such an
Jeez.
annoying draw. Because you just want to go Tanya with this.
1, 2, 3 fills in.
5 connects to the 6. Shapes are actually pretty good here, but still need
Bad,
Hero to
not
some
bad.
honors. 5 pair up.
Pair up.
This is going to be a
5.
5 floater. Continue cutting the honors. There's an Itsu and Manzu, but it's distance away still. 9 doesn't really do anything. Can get tossed. 1 so connects with the 3 here. I have a
Connects
1,
like a
3,
little bit.
5, 5, 8, 9. And we'll cut the 9. And you want to go Tanyao, maybe Sanshogu.
7, 8s. Throw the 1.
9 so is pretty useless here. 4 on pair up. Another pair.
Yeah, Harikai's hand is not really showing signs
Well,
of
the other thing
strong.
is Harikai just doesn't want to expose herself to any danger. Because
Yeah.
that's the type of hand that I will often call and just take my 2 Han and try and make something from it. But with the score line, Harikai just doesn't care. You just want to move the dealer.
Yeah. Ooh, 1, 2, 3 fills in.
Ishun
That's
10.
Ishunten. Yeah.
That's the draw
5, 6,
you're
7
looking
fills in.
for.
Oh yeah. It's another 5, 6, 7
Fills
Sancho
in
card.
an Ishun 10. 6. Ooh, interesting draw. Does go ahead and throw it back. It is the door indicator, so now everyone sees 2 of them. And that is Tempai with 3 Dora. We'll go ahead and take it, waiting
Just
on
gonna
3
send it.
so. Riichi Dora, 3 on Zanzo.
That's Mongon. Can't really do much better than that easily.
And at the same time, everyone except maybe Okubo should just immediately get out of here. Or so, oh no.
Oof.
Well, I say that, and there's just going to be a chase here. Riichi, Pinfu, possible Dora.
That's a much better weight. And another Tempai.
Yeah, would be waiting on the 6-9, but not going to take it.
We don't want it. Interesting. That whole thing's coming apart.
Man, it's just it is. Harikai and Tojo are perfectly fine with this. Ideally, it just goes to a draw. You move to South 4, you handshake for a 1 Han, and you move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, and in this situation with both Mizutani and Okubo and Reach, it's like they're most likely to deal into each other. So for
Even if they
Tojo and
sumo,
Harikai,
it's
like,
not going to hurt unless there's some sort
yeah,
of Yakuman in there, which you can't really expect here. And honestly, even where Okubo is, a Yakuman, even if you have to eat it, doesn't necessarily kill you.
no. And I feel like at the end of the day, that Yakuman, I mean, not to sound like John Maddenish, but it's like it's either there or it's not, right? There's nothing you can do to make it
Right.
happen, and trying to
And you're not going to fight against it. There's just no
yeah,
advantage
yeah,
here.
trying to like
Yeah, the 2
outspeed and blow it
players
up.
that have to try and fight are the ones that are in Riichi right now, which is exactly what you would expect.
There's that Sanzo. What are we gonna do with it?
Well, wants to cut the tune, but hasn't seen any of them and is getting pretty scared of it. Oh, speaking of,
Another tree. Everyone's worried about this
see, if
tune.
you'd have drawn the tune, you'd have 3 of them. Then you just don't care. You just throw them back to back to back.
Oh yeah.
But when you only see 2, you figure there's a decent chance someone's fishing.
And there goes another hot. Sanzo thrown and one.
There it is, Riichidora 3 or a
Riichidora
3.
6.
Oof.
Oh my god, Mizutani is getting
Doing
the
what
luck.
she can, but the problem is there's still such a gap. Poor Okubo, though. You see, here came into this game at minus 4.6. Now at minus 88.4 if it were to end here. And I
Oof.
feel this is asking for busting sticks. Yeah, you see the black ones
Oh
coming out.
no. This is, I mean, astounding luck for Mizutani. Tough game for Okubo.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're Okubo here, there's no difference between getting third and fourth. So if you're not getting here, even this score is not catastrophic. It's not nearly as bad. Look, I fought, I tried, it didn't come.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a score like this is not the result, to be clear, of like bad play per se. It's a game situation where Okubo just has to push as hard as possible.
Right.
Is this a
They
briefing
are
on the
getting in
conditions?
South 4, and this is what we like to call a math break. Or everyone gets to spend time calculating, wait, what is my exact condition? And for Haikai and Tojo, it's very simple. End the game. For Mizutani, it's very simple. Win a lot of hands. And for Okubo, it's yeah, I'm not sure that's even possible.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any singular hand Okubo can win at this point that could get them into
It
good
would
position.
minimum have to be triple Yakuman, and I don't know that even that's enough here.
I don't think it is. Well, how much is a triple Yakuman?
Would be 96.
96, right? Yeah. First of all, is that even in this rule set? 96 would bring her to like plus.
Maybe the
63.
The problem is Mizutani would take the brunt of it, so I don't think it'd be enough, honestly.
If it was directly off of Tojo, I think that would do it.
Yeah, I think that would do it.
That would do it. So
that's what it's going to
That's your
take.
win con.
This
Triple
is saying,
Yakuman off
good
a
luck.
specific player, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is that even enough? No, because that's not enough to overtake Mizutani.
Oh, you might be right. But it would be plus 96 would get her from negative 88
96 would be
up to positive numbers. So she'd be her total would be over Mizutani's.
Yes, but you wouldn't get
Yeah.
the Uma, so it'd be really rough. Anyway, you can tell how desperate we are at this point.
Yeah, we're trying to find the upside.
Sometimes this is the classic you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. All right, 788. Trim down to just 7-8.
5 Citron do much, but it is a pretty good floater once the Itsu in this hand. So going
Maybe a
three for
flush.
now. One so pair up. This just looks like a fold. If I get Chichoi, great. If I don't, great. This in the hand's
3,
a
4,
very nice
5.
little Tanya shape. Would really like a 4-pin. The question is, can you go for 3-4 Sunshu? I don't really think so. I feel it's between the 2-3 pin and the 7 pin are the decisions here. And I just go 2 pin. I want to go Tanya with this.
Oh, interesting. I might cut the 1-4 so shape, but
Goes with the 7.
7.
Figures I have enough pairs in it. It's fine.
Okay. Haku passes. Here's another pin.
I mean, the 5 is pretty useless here. Your alternative is cutting the 1, which doesn't feel good. Yeah, just
Yeah,
goes
cut
with
the
the
5.
5. The advantage here is you have the 2-so pair that you can always cut later. There's the 5 pin. This will be Otozuke potentially. Needs the 4 pin badly. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. And
But it
I
is that
can't
last
go
lunge.
2-3. Yes.
If it gets
So we
us
see
his
2
hand
of those
done.
4. They're locked up here. Of course, you're also somewhat hoping that maybe you get some assistance from your fellow advancer.
They definitely won't be shy about throwing things, like there's no reason to be. 6, all right.
Tuso Onko. Well, I guess you go 2 4-pin. No, wants to go Tanya with it. Likes the Tanya over the Itsu. Certainly better shapes this way.
Mm.
But so another pair up doesn't really do much.
There's another south.
Another pair up, long way for that cheap toy, and threw a 7, throws another 7. Speaking of extra 7s,
Yeah, everyone's pairing up again. I feel like a lot of the hands we've seen today have been very pairy.
there really have been a lot of them. I don't think we've seen a single chi toy. We've seen hands that get really, really close and they get stuck over and over. Oh wait, that's every chi toy.
3-4, decent shape. I'm trying to drop these 1 pair, but I feel like Okubo again was hunting for a Yakuman.
Think so. Oh, kind of tragic there. I haven't got the 5 earlier. And that's another pair up, but I haven't got the 1 mon is just folding here. And that is Tempai
2,
waiting
3,
on
4.
4 for Tanya Sanshoku. No
Yeah.
Yaku on the 1.
Yeah, possibly in trouble on that 1. Here's Ishan 10. 5,
There
6,
is the
7.
1.
And they
Cannot win on it.
slam
This is a Riichi Tanya 2-pin 4-pin. So they both need the 4. Another pair up. No. Well,
Oh, the
see, I'm blaming
worst.
you for this. You did say this was going to happen.
The worst. Oh no. Well, the only saving grace of that is that the 1 is a very safe tile at least.
Yes, you know you're not dealing into a Patsu with that one.
Another pair, another honor pair here.
This is
Poor
one where you
Okubo.
just don't want to deal into dealer. That's the only way things go bad. But it does clear.
Yeah, you want to draw that 4-pin, or you want to draw that 5-pin to shift out of footy 10.
Well, you want to draw the 4. You'll accept the 5. The
Yeah,
problem is if you cut the 2, that deals in.
you deal in. Yeah.
So it's the you think you want to draw the 5.
This is Mizutani's game here. Seven, 8, 9.
Right,
We are not building.
Fold. No reason to get involved. Another
3
3.
pair up is great chi toy.
Already pushed the 6. The 9's fine. Another 2.
Onko
Could
with
have
a
been
2.
Tempai, but cut the 8 so last turn. Just folding out. No reason to
throwing
get
that 3.
involved. There's the
Sumo.
2 each Sumo, Tanya.
Dora.
And Udora. So that is a dealer Mongon.
1, 2,
The
3,
first of all
4.
will still need to be many hands.
Mizutani working as hard as you can. Already, now her total is now negative only 7.9.
Yes, still more
forward.
than 50 to go.
Creeping forward. 52-4 to go.
June pair. This may just be a call and go hand.
Yep, and this is where it just gets really challenging. Okubo's got to aim for the biggest possible things. Tojo and Harika don't want to, they don't want to foolishly throw into something by being
Right.
risky. But now, if they keep holding back, Mizutani gets the space that they need to move forward.
The interesting thing in that last hand was Harikai just says, Tojo, if you want to fight, go ahead. I get to sit back because it doesn't matter, because if you win, I advance. And if you deal into everything, I advance.
Yep.
So Harikai not assisting Tojo in any way, shape, or form.
Just so rude not to get help at the table,
Well, when I'm in games, I always feel it's 3 people against the dealer. And I get really annoyed when someone doesn't help me out and just call for that cheap hand to shut something down. But I wanted the big hand. I was only 4 shunted for. But you had a shunted. You just cut it down. What is wrong with you?
I think that ends up being a lot of the logic of the game is, I mean, individually and as the table, when to fight and when to not fight.
Well, we still haven't seen that tune. The 5 connects here with the 6, 7, 7, 8. 1 pin doesn't do much. Kind of wants to go Chanta with this. It is callable that way. but throws the one back.
Let it go. Maika with that single chun, single haku, not holding on to it. There's a 1, 2, 3
Great fill
fill.
there. Goes and gets the pay here. There is also an Itsu in
Goodbye,
Monzo to
Dora.
get the 4. 8, so, well, do you just sell out on it? Nope.
Nope, that haku's gone too.
2 pin.
1, 2,
Well,
3
that's just
fills in.
Ishan 10.
Ishan 10. And again, I feel like the rest of this table is just hanging out and trying to avoid doing anything too foolish, but they're giving Mizutani time and space.
Yes. Doink.
Is that a cool tile? It is not a cool tile, at least not for this hand.
But it
Six-
feels so good you accidentally knock the next tile over, and then it gets sumo gear. It's like, okay, it didn't cause anyone any problems.
Yeah, yeah, nothing bad happened here. Interesting to give up the Ipeko shape also.
June,
Oh.
well, that is not Tempai.
It is not.
5
pretty
feels like the
cool.
normal. We're going to cut the 9 instead.
I'm still a little surprised, but it looks like Okubo's just not pushing it, because it's true. There's pretty much no hand Okubo can make here that's going to actually get them.
No, now it is over.
So they're kind of
when you're in
sitting it
this
out.
situation, there's some pro etiquette of just sit back and don't be involved. Here is
And
a
here's another
Riichi
reach.
waiting on the 6.
6-mon only. Now 2 of those 6s have been thrown already. There's only 2 left in the universe.
We see one right here, and I don't imagine that's coming out anytime soon.
And
Yeah,
here's
there
the
is
other
0
one.
on the wall.
Yeah, I don't see how it comes out right now.
Well, the only way it might come out is if a 3 is drawn, and then it looks Nakasuji relatively safe.
Yeah, it'd have to end up being disguised in some way. And to be fair, no one else at the table, and it's been pretty obvious through this hand, no one else at the table is fighting. No one else at the table is really
Right.
pushing. So you have all the time. If you're Mizutani, you probably feel reasonably confident that you have the time you need to try to sumo, and no one's going to be really trying to scoop a win out from under you. So your worst outcome here is Tempai.
Yeah, which is perfectly acceptable. It meets your condition for this hand.
Yeah,
And you
get
lose
to
the
keep
Riichi
going.
stick, but it doesn't matter. You have to win the next hand anyway, so you don't lose anything this way. There really is just not much to talk about for the rest of the hand.
Yeah,
unless
everyone's
someone
just
screws
folding.
up.
Everyone's chilling. So yeah, unless that 6 ends up being made to look really safe, I expect we're just gonna see.
Do you see back into Ishan 10 now? Would have to throw
Yeah.
the 3 pin.
A little bit of squeaking around here. The only other option is that Okubo. I don't think Okubo would deliberately throw it, just because I feel like at this point Okubo would feel like throwing something risky
Yeah, it would be
is like
improper.
inappropriately
Yes.
messing with the game. The only thing I can imagine with Okubo feeling like can't afford to just lose points to being no 10 in this situation, but there's still not a path.
Con, a whole
Con.
bunch of value, and you're dreaming of the Rinshan, but we know that's not gonna happen.
Nah. But that still makes this a possible win even scarier.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's going to
now
be.
not only do you have a confirmed Yaku high, but you have an extra equivalent Han from the con. You see 32 Fu out there. This is minimum 270, and yeah, there you see. They get the graphic a little quicker than the hand's getting shown.
All right. 10.010. So that's a net 2,000 pickup. It's also a net 1,000 decrease to every other player. So that's a 3,000 point shift, which is pretty cool.
Are they going on a break, or is there? Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think it might have been a.
You say I didn't think there was a
Momentary break.
time call here. I don't believe we have timed rules in the elimination rounds.
Mizutani still at 76,000. huge amount of points, but needs a lot more and needs to get them off of Tojo somehow, if possible. And it's Southport to
Pretty good
Honma.
starting in here. Nice little Riichi Pinfu Tanya. Does have that west pair to get rid of, though.
And
Possible
Sanshoku
Sanshoku
possibility,
with
yeah.
4-5-6 or even 3-4-5. Well, what about just a Sangen?
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I like to call a responsibility hand. The tiles are now giving you something to do. Okay, throw it north here.
9 catches the 8, but not too much value. Does have 2 Dora, so the west pair will be held.
That Hats is being called. The Haku is out already, so that means
One
like
of them is. This is the last
Yeah.
one.
But it's already paired up too, so there's no waiting. It's that shouldn't that's gonna be the one to think about.
I mean, that should.
Yeah, one's already in a hand.
Gonna be held for now. There's the call.
Just calling
And
it.
there goes the tune. So
There
just
goes
get me out of
Daisuke.
here. I don't care.
Do not
Get
care.
me out of here.
Yep, nothing fancy. We just want it to be over.
Mizutani's done quite a bit, so we just want to end this. And there's
Oh.
Tempai.
Tempai.
6-9. Of course, we see a
6-9.
bunch of them in this hand. We might even see a 6 come out here, but
Could
does
be
not.
this, but we're gonna let it go.
Ishunten.
3, 4, 5 finishes up.
Get the Sozu, but that's not it. 6-9. We're going to hold the 2 for
2-3.
now with the overlap on the 2, 3, 3, 5, 6, since you already have that west pair.
There goes a 1.
7 Onko says no, it's Chitoi.
Nope. We've got a plan. We're sticking to it. Mizutani cuts at 8-9. 3,
And that
4
loose
shapes.
6, question when it come out. Yeah, it does not con.
Not conning the Hots for some reason.
Can't imagine why. Oh, there's the 6.
There's the 6.
And
that
it's
shuts
shut
it down.
down, and that is good enough.
Yeah.
Kojo and
A
Harikai will advance.
heroic effort from Mizukani.
And the classic, take the rough third here, but end up with your team in first. Did what you had to do. Similarly for Tojo, Mizutani puts up an amazing fight, but okay, took some
Yeah.
rough fights, but eventually suffered.
It's always tough, and it's always such a bad feeling that sometimes, you know, when you take the swings you have to, if you don't hit, you can end up really down in the hole, which really ends up it's the right outcome. You needed to make the plays, you needed to try to make it happen. So good play, great play overall. Everyone really trying to push their conditions and get to where they need to go.
Right. Sometimes you just have to force things, and when you force things, good things occasionally happen and bad things happen often. But with that, of course, we have 2 teams that have now advanced.
It's very exciting. It's ML Stadium and EQ have both advanced. And that's going to make for an exciting set of finals.
So what do you feel about the abandoned Suonko?
I mean,
It was
it's
the
hard
right
to
play, and yet it hurts.
yeah, that's kind of what it is. Like even the first thing that I thought when I saw it was, this is unnecessary. You know, like this, they don't need the points. You know, getting this almost feels a little bad, or at least would feel bad to me if I'm sitting there in a superior point position where I don't even need the points. It's hard to walk away though from a big hand. You know you want to win a Yakuman, you want to get the cool hand, but I agree. I think it's
on the televised table, yeah.
Oh yeah, but I think it is the right decision not to just chase it blindly, and risk really wrecking your own position.
Yeah, and I think it was, I'm going to push this, I'm going to push this. Wait, that's a Dora. Wait, where are the Dora? Oh no. And then gave it one more draw, and it was a miss. And said, okay, that is a sign. I think to just stall at discipline. and let the Yakuma be dreams. I'll see you in the semifinals.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that HOTS was very live. It hadn't come out, and it's just like, you know what? If my choice is throw the door or throw the HOTS, this isn't worth chasing. Yeah, and as you said, that level of discipline is, I think, what separates a good player from a great player.
Yes, and we are in the individuals. It's not the teams, but they of course do represent teams. These are the individual quarterfinals, I suppose, and they will be advancing. So congratulations. So I think we're gonna have another stream tomorrow.
That's right.
Oh, excellent.
Tomorrow, same time, same place. New casters though. Well, maybe not new, but different casters from today. We will have some repeats and some new voices. Very exciting. So, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Corak. Much appreciated the commentary on the last game there. And of course, thanks everyone who's watching in the chat right now and lurkers as well. Don't forget to thumbs up the stream if you appreciate it and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss this 4-day marathon for the individual finals. You can see tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UTC, we will be returning. So for all of us here at WRC, thank you and see you next time.
Have a great evening, everyone.